Shalom, shalom, shalom.
Shalom, shalom.
All right, all right. I greet everybody on the Shabbat. I greet everybody in our ancient language. I greet everybody in ancient language in the Hebrew, shalom, which means peace, and Shabbat shalom, which means peaceful Sabbath. It's always a blessing to be at the house of David and to teach this knowledge and this history. And I would say shalom to all the camps throughout New York, all the states throughout the country, in the Caribbean, brothers teaching out in the Caribbean, in Africa, teaching this word in Africa, Ghana, even in Israel, we got camps teaching there. In Europe, we got camps teaching there. So shalom to all the camps that's teaching this word and this knowledge. Okay, so today we're not going to waste time. We got a little late start, but however, we're going to begin. The title of my class is "My People Are Destroyed for Lack of Knowledge." But today's class is going to be a little different, and the only reason it's going to be different because we're going to get clarification on some words that was online. And the only reason I entertained it, and I normally don't entertain it, is because what quote unquote your secret disciples or some of your associates that you teach ask for clarification. Now, when it was first brought to my attention, I kind of brushed it off, didn't really pay attention to the subject or the topic. But now it arose again, actually this week, and they began to express that they want clarification on it. All right, but I'm going to make a statement first. Okay. I'm going to make a statement first. Actually, it's an announcement. So it says here, this class is not about personal opinions or individual perspective. It is rooted in biblical truth. It aims to present a faith exploration of the scriptures, free from personal bias and grounded in historical and theological context. This is not a personal attack or a criticism of anyone's beliefs, but rather an effort to bring clarity and understanding to the biblical text as they were originally written and intended. By focusing on historical accuracy, scriptural integrity, this class seeks to illuminate the deeper meaning of the Bible, helping listeners gain a fuller, more accurate appreciation of its divine message and its historical relevance today. Now, as an elder in this word, I've been teaching this history, this word, this truth, and this knowledge since the early 90s. Okay, and we had thousands of men teaching this word on the streets. Okay, specifically getting at 1 West 125th Street in Harlem, New York. But then this word went to all across the world. Now, I remember in the 90s, because we were teaching the way we were teaching, like according to scripture said, in the highways and byways, it became a problem for society, or how would you say, biblical scholars, even all the way to the realm of colleges. And because of that, there was a movement, actually a movement against what we were teaching and how we would teach it and what we was reading from. There was a movement called biblical minimalism. Biblical minimalism, where they wanted to minimize the Bible. So I'm going to show you a slide which basically explains what this movement was against what we were teaching from the 90s. All right, so we can pull that slide up. And Ben, if you can read this for me, that'll be appropriate. If you can read this slide for me.
Okay, it says biblical minimalism. Biblical minimalism, also known as the Copenhagen School, because two of its most prominent figures taught at Copenhagen University.
All right, now this was going back to the college level, scholars in college that made a movement to what we were doing and teaching, and how we were teaching on the streets. All right, continue.
Is a movement or trend in biblical scholarship that began in the 1990s with two main claims.
Now, like I said, this began in the 1990s. Now, this truth was known before I even came to the 90s. All right, this truth was being taught throughout the ages, but more specifically in the 90s. And they made this movement, and the claim was, there was two claims. All right, the first claim says what?
It says, one, that the Bible cannot be considered reliable evidence for what had happened in ancient Israel.
So now the first claim by these scholars, biblical scholars, because how we were teaching and what we were teaching, was that we're saying we can't allow that Bible to be reliable, or what they say as a primary source. When you're a historian, it's considered a primary source. They said we can't allow the Bible to be reliable evidence to what happened in ancient Israel. Okay, they wanted to stop us from relying on the Bible for that knowledge and that history. Okay, now this is a movement. Okay, second claim.
And that Israel itself is a problematic subject for historical study.
Hi, so Israel, the whole history or context of Israel became problematic because the way we were teaching it in the streets throughout the 90s. Okay, became problematic for historical study because they knew, okay, this knowledge we've never heard before. Nobody ever teach this Bible historically like these individuals, these men were teaching in the 90s. All right, now I'm gonna show you another slide, which is familiar. It's a familiar slide. And this became popular in the 1990s. Okay, it became popular. Now, if you see that, that's that famous, the infamous 12-tribe chart. This became a problem for a lot of historians because they never seen that before, and it wasn't actually broken down the way it was taught in the highways and byways in the streets of New York. Now you can see it says Southern Kingdom and Northern Kingdom, and I'll explain that more in the class, what that actually means, because I know there's people that's watching this video may not be familiar historically about the Bible and the knowledge it contains historically. So it says Southern and Northern Kingdom. We'll talk about that in a few. Now, that chart, or what you see as far as the knowledge of the 12-tribe charts, we began to expand more upon it. Okay, go to slide number 3 for me. We expanded more on it to get more specific of who the 12 tribes were. All right, you had Judah, you had Benjamin, you had Levi. Well, we were stating that Judah was what is known as the so-called African Americans, but we began to expand where it was showing that some of these was directly descendants from the west coast of Africa. And Benjamin being from the Caribbean and Levi being what is known as the Haitians. And we began to talk more about Ephraim, the Puerto Ricans, the Cubans, and the Dominicans. This knowledge was never heard before. Okay, we began to explain that knowledge. Now, the reason I'm bringing this up and I'm teaching this is because, quote unquote, just like Yahushua days, Christ days, there was people that was called secret disciples that were not out front teaching, but they followed Christ secretly. Now, the truth, we have that to this day. Some people ask, well, how many Israelites are there? I always say we innumerable. We're everywhere with this knowledge. Okay, so a secret disciple or secret follower say, hey, Give me clarity on this individual, what he stated in the interview. The first time I heard it, I brushed it off and didn't entertain it. But the second time, he had an interview this week, and the same information came about. So again, I have to bring this interview up. This interview, and we don't watch the channel too much. It's called Drink Champs. And they had a guest named Shine Barrow that was being interviewed. And there were some statements or some knowledge given that the people want clarity on. So we're just going to watch some of this interview, and we're going to go get clarity historically, biblically, and geographically, clarity and truth regarding it. All right, so if my video department, if you can bring up a video.
You know, so many people go to jail and they come back, you know, they come back blood, or they come back Crip, or they come back Muslim, or they come back Christian.
Yeah.
No one comes back Jewish.
You know, the Israelites, the proper name for Jews are Israelites.
And Israelites, for people who don't know,
I'm not talking about those guys on 42nd Street.
That's what I was about to say.
No. Listen.
That's not the Israelites.
Listen,
Okay.
if you're
guys on 42nd Street with black,
if you're a Christian,
let's start right there. Okay. Again, I'm gonna read this statement, and this is actually from the council as well. This class is not about a personal opinions or individual perspectives. It is rooted in biblical truth. It aims to present a faithful exploration of the scriptures, free from personal bias and grounded in historical and theological context. This is not a personal attack or a criticism or anyone's beliefs, but rather an effort to bring clarity and understanding to the biblical text as they were originally written and intended, by focusing on historical accuracy and scriptural integrity. This class seeks to illuminate the deeper meaning of the Bible, helping listeners gain a fuller, more accurate appreciation of its divine message and its historical relevance today. All right, now, so the first thing I want to do, he said two things in the clip that we just saw. I just want to get more understanding and clarity, because he said the proper name for Jews or Israelites. I just want to give you, I'm going to go a little further with that actually he's saying. He said the proper name for Jews or Israelites. Now, if you go to a slide for me, slide number 4, I believe. Let's bring that up. And Ben, if you can read that slide number 4. Okay.
In the Bible, Judah is the fourth-born son of the patriarch Jacob and the progenitor of the tribe of Judah.
All right, so what it's saying here is talking about Judah. Judah is like the fourth son born of our patriarch Jacob. He was the fourth-born son, okay? And he is the progenitor. Progenitor means father of the tribe of Judah. You can read that in the book of Genesis in your Bible. All right, continue.
Judah is one of Jacob's 12 sons and the head of one of the 12 tribes of Israel. His brothers and half-brothers descended from the other 11 tribes, aka Israelites.
All right, so the point I'm getting at, he said the proper name for the Jews or Israelites, but it needs to be more clarity on that. Let's go a little further than that. All right, read descendants.
Descendants. Judah's descendants ruled over ancient kingdom of Israel, and during the Roman Empire, 4 BC, gave birth to the Messiah. According to Josephus, the term Jew or Judean comes from the tribe of Judah.
All right, so basically we're saying to be a Jew, it was required that you be from the tribe of Judah. Okay, or what we say in the ancient language, Yahawah. All right, Yahawah, right? So let's go to the scripture to get a little clarity. I'm going to go through a few scriptures, and I want you, those of you that got your Bibles, I want you to mark and highlight. It's important. So get your pens and your notes. Those of you at home, get your pens and your notes and write these scriptures down. But we're going to get some clarity on it. And we're going to start. Let's go to the book of Hebrews, the 7th chapter. Let's begin with that to get clarity and go a little further. Now, one thing about the Israelites, okay, specifically the ones that were teaching on the streets since the 90s or even earlier than that, we're considered what is a Messianic. In terms, we read all the books. In other words, we read the Torah, which is the first 5 books of Moses. All right. Then we read the prophets, Jeremiah, Isaiah. We read the prophets. Okay. And we read the Gospels, with quote unquote the New Testament, the letters of Paul, and the book of Revelations. Not many people can do that, understand and break it down the way we do. Many of us are actually walking Bibles because that's one of our gifts. They be saying, well, how do you able to stand up and teach and quote those scriptures off the top of your head and speak to the people on the streets? That's a gift. That's a talent that we receive from the Most High. A lot of people can't do that, but we're blessed to do that. Okay, so now, Hebrews the 7th chapter, my reader, and let's begin at the 14th verse.
The book of Hebrews, chapter 7, verse 14. For it is evident that our outer one sprang out of Judah.
All right, so the scripture says it is evident, meaning it's known, it's obvious. We know that our Lord, when he talk about our Lord there, that's talking about the Messiah, Christ. When he walked this earth during the time of the Roman Empire, he actually walked this earth. They said, the scripture's telling you that he actually sprang out of the tribe of Judah. Out of the tribe of Judah. He said, our Lord, that it's evident, it is known that the Messiah or Christ or the Mashiach sprang or was born out of the tribe of Judah. He was a real Jew because he came out of the tribe of Judah. Okay, continue.
Of which the tribe Moses spake nothing concerning priesthood.
All right, so again, going back to Moses, he said Moses never spoke that a priest would come out of the tribe of Judah, because Judah was the head tribe, or what is known as the leadership tribe or the kingship tribe. But Moses never spoke of that. But it's obvious that the high priest, the Messiah Christ himself, he came from the tribe of Judah, which is a true Jew. All right, now let's go a little further. Let's go to the book of Matthew, the 1st chapter.
Matthew,
the 1st chapter. And we're going to read the first verse.
in the book of Matthew, King James Version of the Bible, 1 verse 1.
Mm-hmm.
The book of the generation of Yahushua.
Right now, it says the book of generation. In other words, the genealogy. All right. Now, it says, we just read in Hebrews that our Messiah, the Mashiach, came out of the tribe of Judah, was born out of the tribe of Judah. Now, in the book of Matthew, the 1st chapter, explaining his genealogy or his bloodline, or his family tree. All right, continue.
The son of David, the son of Abraham.
Mm-hmm.
Abraham begot Isaac, and Isaac begot Jacob, and Jacob begot Judas and his brethren.
All right, now, underline where it says Jacob begot Judas, because you remember, Christ said, or the Most High said, I am the God or power of Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob. That's the chosen line of people. All right, so he said Jacob begot Judas, which is our forefather Judah, and his brethren. Underline and his brethren. Those brethren are the forefathers of, quote unquote, the rest of the tribes, the 11 tribes. So with Judah, the Jew tribe, the Jews came out of Judah and his brethren. All right, continue.
And Judas begot Phares,
Mm-hmm.
and Zerah of Thamar.
Mm-hmm.
And Phares begot Ishram,
Mm-hmm.
and Ishram begot Aram.
All right, so again, this is showing this is all genealogy, genetics, or the bloodline or the seed from Christ through Judah, his forefather, the Jews. All right, now let's jump to verse 5 and 6.
Verse 5.
Mm-hmm.
And Solomon begot Booz
All right.
and Rechab.
All right, so you might have heard of Boaz. Some of you might have heard about Boaz. Those you scholars. They were all Jews, came from the tribe of Judah. They were direct lineage to Christ. All right, continue.
And Booz begot Obed of Ruth.
Mm-hmm.
And Obed begot Jesse.
And Jesse, that's a real Jew. Go ahead.
And Jesse begot David the king.
King David, as we know, one of the major figures or kings in the Bible. He is also a real Judite or a real Jew. Okay, continue.
And David the king begot Solomon.
And as you know, King Solomon. These are all Jews, real Jews. Okay, now let's jump down to verse 11.
Verse 11.
Mm-hmm.
And Josias begot Jeconias.
All right, now Josiah, those are all kings. These are all kings. Okay, now jump on down to verse 13.
Verse 13. And Zerubbabel begot Abiud. And Abiud begot Eliakim. And Eliakim begot Azor.
See, there's Zerubbabel. These are all kings. These are all kings. And the scriptures tell you that they all came, still Judites, and were brought away into Babylon captivity. Okay, now, let's go to, now, what my point I'm trying to make to you is the fact that in order to be a Jew, you have to be from the tribe of Judah. Okay? That's where it comes from. You can say that they're Israelites. Yeah, you can say that. But the real Jew is from the tribe of Judah. Now, when we watch that video, obviously, they've been watchers on the streets throughout the years. Okay? Shine Barrow knows that, and Nori knows it, because he said, the Israelites, you mean? And Shine was like, no, not the brothers, or not the ones that you see on 35th Street or Times Square, because they know what we teach. They know what we teach. Now, especially Nori, because he said the ones that had, he called it a sheik, but he understands this is a Mitri. He said, so they know who we are. They know who we are, but my point is, as we look more into the video, you'll see what he's saying is not all authentic. Okay? Shine is not telling, he's not authentic. He doesn't have the knowledge. All right, let's continue with the video.
Or Muslim,
Yeah,
the Quran, or the King James Version
of the Bible.
and you read the Old Testament, they both have the Old Testament, and you read, it will tell you about the Israelites.
Right.
And the 5 books of Moses is in both those scriptures. And in the 5 books of Moses, which is my name,
You change your name to Moses.
yeah,
legally.
Levi. Well, my name is Moses Barrow.
Right.
The 5 books of Moses documents the happenings of the Israelites.
It's not in the Torah, though, as well?
That's the Torah. The Torah is in the Quran.
It's in, okay. So that's the
and
first.
in the Christian books.
Got it.
So the point I'm trying to make is nowhere in the Torah, the Quran, or the Christian books do they mention the word Jew. It's Israelite. You know, Jew is just a misnomer, just a, you know,
Right.
just a pseudo name, you know, just a and if you look at the journey of the Israelites, they were Africans. Egypt is in Africa.
Right.
Now, let's start right there. Like I said, the cloudy is that you have to be from the tribe of Judah to be a Jew. That's cloudy. He doesn't go further than that. Now, one thing he erred at, he said that the Israelites were Africans. So we gotta fact check that. We have to fact check that because the Israelites were not Africans. All right, so let's go into scriptures on that. All right, matter of fact, let's go to slide 5. I want to show you a map because you got to go to the book of Genesis. All right, to the book of beginnings. Now, if you look on this map that you see, it goes back to the table of nations in Genesis 10th chapter. For those who don't know about that, that's the Genesis 10th chapter is called the table of nations. Now, as you can see in this map, you got Ham, Shem, and Japheth. Now, we're going to get more clarity and more understanding. Let's go to Genesis 10th chapter, the first verse. And you can keep this map up, but just do
The
some
book of
reading.
Genesis, chapter 10, verse 1. Now these are the generations of the sons of Noah, Shem, Ham, and Japheth.
All right, so generations mean people born at that time. These are people that are born and during that time, generations at that time of the sons of Noah. So we all know about Noah. Even if you just in this class and you're not too knowledgeable, we all heard about Noah, Shem, Ham, and Japheth. Okay, read on.
And unto them were sons born after the flood.
All right, underline that. That's an important scripture. All right, so you got Noah had Shem, Ham, and Japheth, 3 sons that actually populated the world after the flood. All right, verse 2.
The sons of Japheth, Gomer, and Magog, and Madai, and Javan, and Tubal, and Meshach, and Tyrus.
All right, so all of these sons came from Japheth. So those and they all had their own land. If you look on the map, it's Japhetic or Japhet. Okay, and it's other breakdowns of that. But this map shows you that each son had his own area, own land at that time. Okay, now let's jump to verse 6.
Verse 6. The sons of Ham, Cush, and Mizraim, and Phuth, and Canaan.
All right, so the sons of Ham. Okay, now this is very important. You got to underline this here. Now, Ham, as you look on that map, is what you see where is, go back to the map for a second. When you see the map, right, you see Ham. The majority of that area that you see Ham, that's in Africa. He is the father of what is called the Africans. Okay? Now, when you go back and we said, read verse 6, it said the sons of Ham,
Cush.
Cush is, write this down, or Cush is Ethiopia. You can see it right on the map. Write this in your notes. Cush is Ethiopia. Then there's Mizraim. All right, that's Egypt. That's the first name for Egypt. All right, Mizraim, which means bondage. All right. Then it's Put, which is Libya in North Africa. Now you can see it right there on the map. And then Canaan actually is Israel, or the land of Canaan. So it's safe to say, and we all know, that Israel is a part of Africa, Northern Africa. Israel is in Africa, Northeast Africa. And the original name was called Canaan. Okay, it was called Canaan. Now, Let's jump down to the definition of Ham. Now, this definition and the source of this definition is from the Compact Bible Dictionary. You can buy this yourself. All the Israelites have this Compact Bible Dictionary. All right. And it says here, it says Ham, perhaps hot, a hum, a cum. Okay. The youngest son of Noah, born probably about 96 years before the flood, and one of the 8 persons to live through the flood. It said he became the progenitor. Progenitor means father of the dark races. And it says not the Negroes. I'm explaining why they wrote that in there. They said not the Negroes. We're going to talk about that later. But the Egyptians, so Egypt is from the descent of Ham. The Ethiopians are from the descent of Ham. The Libyans are from the descent of Ham. And of course, the Canaanites are from the descent of Ham. These are all Africans. These are all Africans. Now, Israelites are not from Africa. We're not from that land. Okay? Let's go to matter of fact, let's read chapter 10, verse 15. So I will show you what I mean.
The book of Genesis, chapter 10, verse 15.
Mm-hmm.
And Canaan begot Sidon, his firstborn, and Heth.
All right, so now this is Canaan. This is son of Ham, and this is actually the land. The land of Israel was called Canaan. All right, continue.
And the Jebusite, and the Amorite, and the Girgashite,
Mm-hmm.
and the Hivite, and the Archite, and the Sinite,
Mm-hmm.
and the Avidite, and the Zimmerite, and the Hamathite, and afterward were the families of the Canaanites spread abroad.
All right, so they was all spread abroad, and this is all in Israel, okay, which is in Northeast Africa. All right, now look at verse 19. This is important.
And the border of the Canaanites was from Sidon,
Sidon, mm-hmm.
as thou comest from Gerar
Gaza,
unto Gaza.
and to Gaza. As you know, you had heard Gaza Strip. This is all in Israel. We're going to talk about that later on in class to show you who that land is actually today. All right. Now it says Gaza. That goes where?
As thou goes unto Sodom and Gomorrah.
All right. So you know the story of Sodom and Gomorrah. Sodom and Gomorrah, they were Africans. All right. They was heavily into homosexuality. These were Africans. Okay. The Most High destroyed them. All right. The Most High destroyed them. These were actual Africans that came from the lineage of Ham. Okay. All right. Now, let's stop there. Matter of fact, keep reading. Keep reading.
It says, Admah and Zobium, even unto Lasha.
Read verse 20.
These are the sons of Ham, after their families, after their tongues, in their countries, and in their nations.
All right. So if you can see, the Most High gave everybody their own land. All 3 sons had their own land. Ham was the Africans. Okay. Now let's read about verse 21.
Unto Shem also.
All right, underline Shem. All right, Shem. Now this is where the word Semitic comes from. The descendants of Shem, Semitic. Okay, these are descendants. All right, continue. Verse 21.
Unto Shem also, the father of all the children of Eber.
Underline Eber. Or you go into the history and go into the translation, that means Ibar, or what is known as beyond. All right, Ibar, which means beyond. Or Eber, or the Hebrews. That's where the word Hebrews come from. The Hebrews came from the line of Shem They didn't come from the line of Ham. Okay, all the Hebrews came from the line of Shem. All right, continue.
The brother of Japheth, the elder, even to him was children born.
Mm-hmm.
The children of Shem, Elam, and Ashur, and Araphax, and Lud, and Aram.
All right, so all of these are children of Shem. When you go to breakdown, Asher is Assyria, all right, and then you read Aram is Syria. These are all Semitic people, or Semitic individuals. Now, Abraham comes from this line here. He comes from Shem. Abraham doesn't come from the line of Ham. Abraham is not an African. He's not Hamitic. Abraham is Shemitic. All right, can you see that? All right, now, let's go to 1 Chronicles 1:17. Gotta go to the Chronicles. You gotta go into the history. Like I said, Shine said that the Israelites are Africans. They're not Africans. They're not Hamitics. All right, let's go to 1 Chronicles. Let's read the first chapter. Let's begin the 17th verse.
The book of Chronicles, chapter 1, verse 17.
Now, the book of Chronicles is going to break down the history. This is all the chronicles and genealogy of our people, the Israelites. Okay, verse 17.
The sons of Shem, Elam.
Elam. Those are the East Indians. Elam is the East Indians. They are Semitic people. Okay, they're Semitic people, the East Indians. Okay, continue.
And Ashur.
Ashur, that means Assyria. All right, those are Semitic people. They put us in captivity. They were superpower, and also they were Semitic people. All right, continue.
Araphax, and Lud, and Aram.
Aram is Syria. Go ahead.
And Uz, and Hol, and Getha, and Meshach.
All right, those are all those basically smaller peoples. All right, but they're all Semitic people. All right, verse 18.
And Araphax begot Shelah, and Shelah begot Eber.
Okay, remember we talk about Eber? Eber is where the word Hebrew come from. Ibar, beyond. That's where Abraham come from, Eber. All right, let's just jump down to verse 20, verse 25.
Eber,
24, read 24.
Shem, Araphax, Shelah, Eber, Peleg, Ru, Sharab, Nahor, Terah. Abram, the same is Abraham.
Abram, the same as Abraham. He comes from the line of Shem. They're just showing a clarification. This is genealogy that the book of Chronicles is given. All right, verse 28.
The sons of Abraham, Isaac, and Ishmael.
All right, so Abraham had two sons, Isaac and Ishmael. Now, Isaac, as you know, we mentioned that in Matthew 1:1, where Christ comes from what? Isaac. All right, Isaac. Can y'all see that? All right, now, like he said that Shines says that the Israelites are Africans. That's totally false, incorrect, incorrect. All right, so we just had to fact check that. And like you said, the people was asking where to get this information from. It's not biblical. It's not historical. All right, it's not biblical. It's not historical. It's not geographical. Again, the Israelites are not Africans. Okay, now, let's move right along. Let's go to the book of Psalms and show you some more. Book of Psalms 105. This is further show proof that he's incorrect. They're not, Israelites are not Africans. Book of Psalms, 105th chapter. Let's start at verse 6.
The book of Psalms, chapter 105, verse 6. O ye seed of Abraham, his servant.
Underline seed. That's very, very important. So a prophet desired through the Spirit of the Most High, he put this word accurately. Seed. Notice that, seed. Because you have to be a seed, or what is known as a descendancy of a seed of a male. A male has the seed. So all the forefathers, the seed from Abraham, his servant. All right. So all the Abraham's descendants. All right. Go ahead, continue.
Ye children of Jacob, his chosen.
And underline that. Underline it. You gotta that's very important. Out of all Abraham's children, because remember, he was the father of Ishmael as well. We just read that. The Arabs. Arabs are Semitic people. They came from the line of Shem. But he said that Jacob, his lineage are the chosen people, the 12 tribes. Underline that. All right. He says, ye children of Jacob, meaning the 12 tribes, are his chosen on the earth. Okay. They're Semitic people. They're not Africans. They're not Hamitic. All right. Now, let's move along. Same chapter. Let's read verse 23.
The book of Psalms 105, verse 23. Israel also came into Egypt.
You see that? Because they're not from Egypt. They're not Africans. So you said Israel, they came into Egypt. All right? They came into Egypt. Go ahead.
And Jacob sojourned in the land of Ham.
You see that? So Jacob is the 12 tribes. And it says sojourn. Sojourn is mean a temporary stay. They just passing through, whether they're in bondage or not. They just was a temporary stay. When you sojourn, you temporary stay. And it says in the land of Ham. They're not Africans. Those are not Africans. All right, continue.
And he increased his people greatly.
And now you read the history while we was in bondage in Egypt under Pharaoh, because we was of another nation, we were Semitic. The Most High said he increased us, which he always does. Even in this bondage here, he increases us. Okay, continue.
And made them stronger than their enemies.
See, we were stronger than the Africans. We were stronger than the Egyptians as a people. All right, and just like today, we're the strongest people on earth. All right, that's natural. All right, continue.
He turned their heart to hate his people, to deal subtly with his servants.
So now, the Most High called his servants, but the Egyptians hated us. The Africans hated us in bondage. They hated us. Pharaoh's family hated us, especially when Moses came back. And you read the true story about Moses. Moses, again, didn't grow up as an Israelite. He grew up in Pharaoh's house. But he knew that he wasn't an African. And when he saw his people being punished or beaten by the Egyptians, the scripture says he slew and killed an Egyptian for his people. Moses did that. He killed the African because he knew that was wrong what they were doing to his people. And then after he came and he fled, all right, he fled for 40 years and came back and told Pharaoh, let my people go. Because he knew he wasn't Egyptian and he wasn't no African and that wasn't his homeland. All right, continue on.
Verse 24, no, 5. No, pardon me, verse 26. He sent Moses, his servant, and Aaron, whom he had chosen.
All right, so Aaron, who he had chosen, Moses and Aaron, as you know, they're brothers. They're from the tribe of Levi. They're not Jews because they're from the tribe of Levi. All right, continue.
They showed his signs among them and wonders in the land of Ham.
Right, he wrote it again. Underline that. Wonders. The Most High did all his wonders in the land of Ham, which are the Africans. Again, the Israelites are not Africans. Okay? Not Africans. All right. Verse 28.
He sent darkness and made it dark, and they rebelled not against his word.
Okay, let's start right there. Now, let's go to now. Like I said, that video we saw on Drink Champs, that was some time ago. But there was another video last week. And honestly, this would caught my attention that I had to address some of the information that he's providing about Israelites or what is a Jew in his statements in the video. Now, at the video top, you can bring this next video up for me.
You asked me about Judaism. You know, I didn't convert. Like I told you, Barrows, Baruch, those are Jews in Barbados.
It's a bloodline thing.
Yeah, and you know, my heritage comes from Portugal as well. You know, the Lindos, so a big Jewish family from Portugal that migrated to Jamaica. But you know, Judaic belief is that it's a faith. You know, like you can be Arabic and you can be Christian. It doesn't mean that you're Muslim. I know Christian Arabs. So you know, Jews aren't a race, because you know, like I have many Jewish friends. So we were having dinner last night. I was having dinner with a Lebanese Jew, with an Iranian Jew, and with a Jew that's from Poland. So those are all different races. So being Jewish is not a race; it's a belief.
Now, we have to correct them on that as well. You got to correct him on that as well. Like I said, he said this in the Drink Champs video as well, but then again, he said it again. He said Jew is not what I call a race, all right? He said it's a belief or faith. That's totally incorrect. Totally incorrect. All right, now, we could say that, okay, he's getting a little confused a little bit. Even the brother, I'm not sure what his name is, he even said it's a bloodline. So he's been taught something. He's been taught, he already know, yeah, it's a bloodline. He threw it at him. But Sean didn't pick up on that, or he just overlooked that. He said, no, it's not a race, it's a belief. All right, so I'm not sure who the brother was, but he definitely was taught something. Okay, now let's continue on with that video a little bit more. Now he also said that there was Jews of Lebanon, Jews of all the other places. Now, are they from the tribe of Judah? Those people in Lebanon, are they from the tribe of Judah? So how are they Jews? They quote unquote, those are what you call converts. Those converts. They just practicing the religion, but they're not actually who those people are. They're not the chosen seed, like the seed. They're not the chosen seed. All right, continue on showing the video a little more.
It has been attached to maybe one race of Jews. And so we see that as what it means to be Jewish. But if you go to Yemen, if you go to Ethiopia, you know, you'll see Jews that look like me.
The Philosophians.
Remember, no, they're Jews.
Yeah,
it's not any special, you know, that's they try to separate us by using those names, but they're Jews. They're full-fledged Jews from David.
All right, now a couple things there. Now he's getting a little confused because he's saying these people are Jews, that they're full-fledged Jews. Those are converts. And I'll give you an example. Let's go to the book of Esther really quick. Because many people became Jews, but they weren't Jews. Let's go to the book of Esther. Just came to my mind. Let me see. That's give me the 8th chapter. Yeah, book of Esther, 8th chapter. And let's read nice and clear, verse 17.
Book of Esther. Said 8 what?
8:17.
8:17. Oh.
Now, you get a chance, read the book of Esther. Very good book. Very good book. All right. That's where one of our sisters, she came and took on her people against the other nations. All right, against the other nations. So you get a chance to read the book of Esther. That's when you get the holiday Purim. All that comes from the book of Esther. So Esther, the 8th chapter, the 17th verse.
That book of Esther, chapter 8, verse 17.
Come on.
And in every province and in every city, whithersoever the king's commandment and his decree came, the Jews had joy and gladness.
All right, so now you're going back to Esther when we was in the captivity under the Persians, okay? And they allowed us to worship and be amongst ourselves and build our temple back. All right, continue.
A feast and a good day, and many of the people of the land became Jews.
All right, so many people in the land became converts. Those were not Israelites. They became Jews in the land. All right, continue.
For the fear of the Jews fell upon them.
All right, so those other nations are what they call Gentiles or heathens. Okay, now, again, that's converts. Let's go to the book of Ezra.
What? Ezra?
Ezra.
Ezra, right?
Now write these scriptures down. Let's go to Ezra, the 4th chapter. Ezra, the 4th chapter, is beginning at the 1st verse.
In that book of Ezra, chapter 4, verse 1.
Come on.
Now, when the adversaries of Judah and Benjamin,
All right, the adversaries mean enemies. When the adversaries or people against Judah and Benjamin, all right, go ahead.
heard that the children of the captivity built the temple unto the Lord Yahweh, Most High Power of Israel.
Right, so in other words, the children of captivity was the children of Israel, the Hebrews. Okay, continue.
Then they came to Zerubbabel
Mm-hmm.
and to the chief of the fathers and said unto them, let us build with you.
So the adversaries came to Zerubbabel because he was the head chief, a Judite. All right, he said, let us build with you. Now this is an adversary, this is an enemy. That's why you gotta watch people. When they say they want to help you, they really your adversary. All right. He said, let us build with you. Go ahead.
For we seek your power.
Mm-hmm. So we seek your God. We want to follow you. We want to do what you want to do. You got to remember, that's my point. Being an Israelite or Jew is not a belief. It's more than that. It's actually a people, a nation, a seed of people. All right. He said, we want to sacrifice unto your power. Okay, go ahead.
As ye do.
Mm-hmm.
And we do sacrifice unto him since the days of Esarhaddon,
Mm-hmm.
king of Ashur, which brought us up hither.
All right, so they said they were following what we do, but they're not amongst us. All right, continue.
But Zerubbabel and Jeshua and the rest of the chief of the fathers of Israel.
All right, so leaders of Israel, all our forefathers, the chiefs, all right, the ones that make decisions, go ahead.
Said unto them, ye have nothing to do with us to build an house unto our power.
Underline that. It says, you have nothing to do with us because they're not of the children of Israel. So it is, quote unquote, a race or a people. He said, you have nothing to do with us. We don't care whether you've been trying to follow before. You can't build with us because you have nothing to do with us. Mm-hmm.
You see, it said that they've been following our God since they were brought up there, but we still said.
Exactly. The adversary said, we've been following you. Before we was brought up, we've been following the Jews or your way of living, monotheism. All right. But then we said, now you still can't build with us because you're not of us. Go ahead, Labwan.
Yeah, we don't want your hands on nothing we build.
We don't want no hands, your hands. I don't care what you've been praying. We don't care. You're not amongst us. All right. So it's not a belief. They believe, right? Yeah, they believe. But it's more than that. All right. Continue.
But we ourselves together will build unto the Lord Yahweh, Most High Power of Israel, as King Cyrus, the king of Persia, had commanded us.
Go ahead. Verse 4.
Then the people of the land weakened the hands of the people of Judah and troubled them in building.
All right, now you see what now they believe and follow our ways of life, right? These converts. But when we said no, we don't, you had nothing to do with us. We the people, we the ones supposed to build. Nobody's gonna touch one brick. We're gonna build this temple. And what the scriptures say, that they people of the land, not just them, the other ones, they said they weakened the hands. In other words, they did all types of things covertly to keep them from building that temple. The enemies. All right. So again, Israelites or being a Jew is not a faith. All right, it's not a faith. All right, these are what is called converts. Another thing, it's all based on genealogy. Okay, let's go to the Book of Chronicles. I got to go to these scriptures because the scripture is the base and understanding of all this knowledge. First Chronicles, the 9th chapter. Let's read the first verse.
The book of First Chronicles, chapter 9, verse 1. So all Israel were reckoned by genealogies.
All right, underline that. Underline that first precept. It said, so all Israel were reckoned. In other words, numbered and what are known as put into play in terms of who they were in the records by what? Their genealogy. Again, being a Jew is not of faith. You have to believe of that genealogy or that bloodline of people. All right, continue.
And behold, they were written in the book of the kings of Israel and Judah, who were carried away to Babylon for their transgression.
All right, so you see that it's not a faith. Let's continue more with the video.
They have the Solomonic. They had the Ark in Ethiopia, and remember that the 10 lost tribes as well, which is a fact. This is not that Times Square Israelite. You know, it's just a fact.
Let's start right there. He said there's the Ark in Ethiopia. See, now he's a little confused now because one thing he's saying is a faith. Then he said, okay, these people in Ethiopia have the Ark, which is biblically false, historically false. There's no Ark. Our Ark is not in Ethiopia. All right, so we gotta fact check that. All right, let's go to the book of, we gotta go to Maccabees for this. Let's go to the book of 2nd Maccabees. The book of 2nd Maccabees. The Ark is not in Ethiopia. They don't have the Ark there. Plus, they don't have the Ark there. Let's go to the book of 2nd Maccabees. And it's I don't mean to laugh, but it's literally our people destroyed for the lack of knowledge. All right? We rejected the Most High's understanding. All right, so let's find out what an Ark is. Let's go to the book of second Maccabees. Let's go to the second chapter. And let's begin at the 5th verse.
We're in that book of 2nd Maccabees and Apocrypha, chapter 2, verse 2.
No, chapter 2, verse 5.
Oh, pardon. Chapter 2, verse 5. And when Jeremy came thither, he found an hollow cave.
Jeremy, that's talking about the prophet Jeremiah. It's the book of that's Jeremiah in the Bible. All right, continue.
Wherein he laid the tabernacle and the ark.
And what?
And the ark.
So Jeremiah at the time has the ark and the tabernacle. All right, he said he found a hollow cave. All right, continue.
And the altar of incense, and so stop the door.
All right, so basically he found a cave. He put the ark in there, the incense. All right, all of this was put in a cave, and he said he stopped the door. He covered the door. All right, continue.
And some of those that followed him came to mark the way.
All right, so it was some people that followed him, and they tried to mark where they were going. So it was like Jeremiah had a secluded place, and he found a cave, but they tried to follow and mark how to get there again because valuables in there. All right, continue.
But they could not find it.
But they couldn't find it. All right, continue.
Which when Jeremy perceived, he blamed them, saying, as for that place, it shall be unknown until the time that the Most High Power gather his people again together.
Right, so he said, he told, it's places where it's unknown. Underline that in your scriptures. He said the place is unknown. That cave is unknown where the ark is. So how can the ark be in Ethiopia? See, that's the knowledge that we have to fact check, because that's quote unquote how the words are used. That's misinformation. That's misinformation. And there's no ark in Ethiopia. Not the ark that the Most High had, put it that way. Because we just read that Jeremiah put it in the cave and it's unknown. And it's not going to be revealed until the Most High does what? Read that last precept. We're not going to see that ark again until what? To when?
Until the time that the Most High gather his people again together.
All right, so gather his people again together. Now notice that his people, the people is not of faith. Those are true descendants of the nation of Israel. He's going to gather them again, and then he's going to bring the ark back. All right, so I'm not sure where he got that from. Although I kind of know he read certain books, but that's not true. All right, can y'all see that? All right, now. Okay, continue on, I believe. Continue on.
And receive them unto mercy.
The video.
The ark in Ethiopia. And remember that the 10 lost tribes as well, which is a fact. This is not that Times Square Israelite, this is just a fact that there are 10 lost tribes. So that tells you that there are tribes that are all over Africa. There are tribes that are maybe in Asia. There are tribes in India. There are tribes all over. Right? So it's not a race. It just so happens that I
So they're not in America?
What'd you say, Ben?
So they're not in America? If they're everywhere, so they're not in America neither too?
Ben said, well, if they're all over, they're everywhere, are they can't be in America? He said, no, this is not that Israelite tribe that you see on 34th Street. All right? Now, let's go to slide 7 for me. I want to share something with you.
But I want to ask you, did he read the Apocrypha where it tells you Jeremiah had the Ark of the Covenant? Did he read that?
Obviously, no, he's unlearned in terms of that. He's unlearned in terms of that. And it's sad. And
gonna silence these Negroes.
and it's kind of sad because you would think, and I'm saying that's why I'm so grateful and I'm happy to have knowledge of self. All right, to have knowledge of self, because you would think that they would possibly have some knowledge of it. Going back to even Nori, you can tell they really don't have that knowledge that I would think they would have. And it's kind of, disheartening and kind of sad to see that. But at the same time, when they come on these different platforms and they put that type of information in that, and the ones that know the truth, the scholars is laughing at them. But we have to come. They just let them talk because they know they don't know what they into. All right. So it's kind of sad in that way. Now, let's look at this slide here. It says, according to the King James Version of the Bible, the 10 tribes, because he mentioned 10 tribes. So he knows a little bit about that. He knows a little about that. The 10 tribes taken away in captivity refers to the tribes of Reuben, Simeon, Dan, Naphtali, Gad, Asher, Issachar, Zebulun, and Manasseh, and Ephraim. All right? So he knows about this other tribes. Okay? Now, like he said, he's seen us on the streets speaking and teaching his history and his knowledge. He's seen us. All right? Then it said, which were taken away into exile by the Assyrians, leaving only the tribes of Judah and Benjamin remaining in their land. This event is often referred to as the lost tribes. Okay, now, let's go, if I don't want to interrupt the video, man, but can you go back to slide 2 again? Slide 2. Now, again, this is our infamous, infamous 12-tribe chart that we teach on. Now, again, it says Southern Kingdom and Northern Kingdom. The Southern Kingdom consists of Judah, Benjamin, and Levi, which we geographically, historically prove that they are just quote unquote so-called African Americans, people that was in the Caribbean, and what is known as the Haitians. They were considered the Southern Kingdom. And the rest of those tribes was considered the Northern Kingdom, which is the 10 lost tribes. So that's what he's referring to. Okay, that's what he's just referring to, the 10 lost tribes. Now, with that knowledge, let's go to Matthew, the 10th chapter. See, like I said, we have advantage because we're Messianic. Now, I don't know if Shine reads the New Testament. I don't know that. But he probably doesn't read anything beyond the Torah because the so-called Jews do not read the New Testament. They don't read anything other than the 5 books of Moses. So they don't know anything about the prophecies. They don't go into Ezekiel. They don't break down Daniel. And if they're not reading the New Testament, they don't know nothing about Revelations, the end times. So I'm not sure if Sean has that knowledge, but I don't think so. Maybe this can help him. And like I said, we got advantage because we read all of the entire book, the volume of the book, like Christ said, the volume of the book. Okay? Because we're Messianic. All right, now let's go to Matthew, 10th chapter. Let's read the 5th verse.
Now the book of Matthew, chapter 10, verse 5.
All right, now listen to what Christ says here. All right, go ahead.
These 12 Yahushua sent forth and commanded them, saying.
All right, now it says here, these are the 12 disciples that Christ had chosen. Peter, John, Andrew, all of them. The 12 disciples. He said he sent forth to speak and teach. He gave them an order. I want you to speak and teach. Okay, continue.
Go not in the way of the Gentiles.
All right, so he said, listen, don't speak and teach to the Gentiles. The word Gentile just means nations. Everybody who is not of the children of Israel, of the 12 tribes. If you're not of the 12 tribes, you're considered a Gentile or a heathen. Again, repeat, a Gentile is anyone that is not of the 12 tribes of Israel or the bloodline of the children of Israel, they consider heathens or Gentiles. Okay, he said, don't speak and teach the Gentiles, the non-Israelites. All right, go ahead.
And into any city of the Samaritans enter ye not.
Now, this is Christ speaking. Like they said, Christ loves everybody, right? Now, if he loves everybody, why would he tell disciples, listen, don't teach and speak to the Gentiles or the nations? All right? Matter of fact, don't even go to Samaria because our people are not in Samaria. Not all of them are not in Samaria. All right, continue, verse 6.
But go rather to the lost sheep of the house of Israel.
You see that? Underline that. Underline that in your Bible. Those you have home, underline that in your Bible. He says, but go, I want you to go ultimately and rather to the lost sheep. The lost sheep, that's what is known as the tribe of Judah at that time. Judah, Benjamin, and Levi, the so-called Negroes, so-called West Indians, Islands of the West Indies, and the Haitians. They were in the presence at that time. That was considered the Southern Kingdom. All right? During that time. So again, the only people that was in Christ's presence during the time of the Romans, when he taught, that was right in front of him, was the Southern Kingdom, Judah, Benjamin, and Levi. All right? Now, let's continue on, get more clarity.
And as ye
Hold
go,
on. No. Go ahead. And as you go, what?
preach saying the kingdom of heaven is at hand.
All right, and I'm gonna teach about the kingdom. That's another thing. That's a whole different story. Sean is not on that level about the kingdom. He's not on that level. So it may not be important to even go into that, what that actually means. All right. He said, preach to them the kingdom of heaven. All right. So again, being a Jew is not of faith. All right. Christ said, don't go to the Gentiles. All right. Don't go to them at all. Don't even speak to them. All right. Now, let's go to John, the 10th chapter. Book of John, the 10th chapter. And again, there were only Judah, Benjamin, and Levi that was in the presence during the Roman time, during Christ. Ultimately, the people that came on the slave ships on the west coast of Africa, those are the same people that was in during the time of Christ that he taught. All right? Now, let's go to John, the 10th chapter. And let me get that. Let's go to verse 16.
In the book of John, chapter 10, verse 16.
Mm-hmm.
And other sheep I, Yahushua, have, which are not of this fold. Them also I must bring.
All right. So he said, you see that? This is Christ speaking. He says, other sheep that I have, meaning he's talking about the northern kingdom, the 12 tribes, the 10 tribes. His other sheep that I have that are not of this fold or not in front of me. He said, them I must bring. He talked about the rest of the tribes. All right, continue.
And they shall hear my voice, and there shall be one fold and one shepherd.
All right, so there's be one nation and one king. Okay, now let's go to the prophecy of Ezekiel. Give you more understanding. Prophecy of Ezekiel. Ezekiel 37. The prophecy of Ezekiel. And believe me, underline these in your Bibles. Ezekiel 37. This is the prophecy. Now listen to the prophecy. Ezekiel 37. Let's start at the 15th verse.
That book of Ezekiel, out of King James Version of the Bible. Chapter, it's 37, you said 15?
15.
Verse 15. The word of the Lord Yahweh came again unto me, saying, moreover, thou son of man, take thee one stick and write upon it for Judah and for the children of Israel, his companions.
All right, so underline says for Judah. One stick for Judah, okay, which is the southern kingdom, because the kingdom was divided. To get the understanding, the kingdom was divided. All right, continue.
Then take another stick
and take another stick
and write upon it. For Joseph, the stick of Ephraim.
The stick of Ephraim, that's when we start going into the Puerto Ricans. All right. All right, we go into that. All right, continue.
And for all the house of Israel, his companions.
All right, so the stick for Judah and the stick for Ephraim, Joseph, which is Israel, that's for all the kingdom, the whole nation. 2 sticks. All right, continue.
And join them one to another into one stick.
And he says, and join those 2 sticks, the southern and northern kingdom, to one stick, one nation. All right, continue.
And they shall become one in thine hand.
And it should be one, become one in thy hand. All right, continue.
And when the children of thy people shall speak unto thee, saying, wilt thou not show us what thou meanest by these?
All right, so this is like it's a parable, but this is a prophecy of Ezekiel. All right, continue.
Say unto them, thus said the outer one, most high power, behold, I will take the stick of Joseph, which is in the hand of Ephraim.
Because Ephraim, the tribe of Ephraim, was the head of the 10 tribes. He said, I'm going to take them, the 10 tribes, go ahead.
And the tribes of Israel, his fellows.
Which that was called the tribes of Israel. The 10 tribes were called Israel. All right, continue.
And will put them with him, even the stick of Judah.
So they're going to put them even with the stick of Judah, which the southern kingdom, all right, Judah, Benjamin, Levi, they were considered Judah. So it says Israel and Judah, go ahead.
And make them one stick.
And make them one stick of one nation. That's the prophecy. Okay, continue.
And they shall be one in mine hand.
And should be one in my hand. So eventually, the 10 lost tribes are going to be united with what is called the so-called Negroes, right? West Indians and Haitians. They're going to be gathered together with us again. And we know who they are. Okay, that's another class. All right, continue on.
And the sticks whereon thou writest shall be in thy hand before thy eyes.
Mm-hmm.
And say unto them, thus said the Lord Yahweh, most high power, when I will take the children of Israel from among the heathen.
Underline that. This further prove that being a children of Israel, or Jew or Israelite is not of faith. He said here, I will take the children of Israel from among the what? Heathen. The heathen. All right, the Gentiles. Everybody that's not of the children of Israel. He's not going to take them from among the heathen. This is in the prophecy. Okay, this is Ezekiel in the prophecy. This is going to happen. All right, continue.
Whether they be gone, and will gather them on every side.
All right, so wherever they are, wherever they scattered, wherever they lost at, he's going to gather them. All right, continue.
And bring them into their own land.
And to bring them into their own land. All right, continue.
And I, the Most High, will make them one nation in the land upon the mountains of Israel.
See, go ahead.
And one king shall be king to them all.
All right, so he's going to bring all the 12 tribes back into where? The land of Israel. All right, because remember, if you're so-called African American, if you're so-called in the Caribbean, don't matter if you're from Barbados, don't matter if you're from Cuba, don't matter if you're in the Dominican Republic, don't matter if you're in Jamaica, it matter if you're in Haiti, doesn't matter. St. Lucia, it doesn't matter. That's not your homeland. You were brought there. All right, so you're not in your homeland. You got to go back to your homeland. And that's one of the things they don't want you to know. That you are from the nation of Israel. That's your homeland.
That's right.
That's your homeland. People, I'm from Jamaica. All right, yeah, you're from Jamaica, but where were you before that? Who were you before that? And believe me, the world, you can say, a black man can say, I'm a Muslim, and nobody say nothing. Nobody won't say nothing. You can say a Muslim all day. Hey, I'm from the Nation of Islam. Nobody say anything. A black man can say, I'm an Egyptian. Nobody say one word. But if you say you're a Jew or Israelite, boy, all hell breaks loose. Now, why is that? Why is that? Soon Kyrie said, man, Kyrie didn't even do anything. He didn't even say anything. he just said read what was from Hebrews to Hebrews and Negroes.
He read a book and he was speaking
Yeah,
about it.
he read a book and just spoke about it. All hell broke loose. Go ahead.
He didn't even say nothing. He just posted the link on his
Yeah,
thing.
he didn't even say nothing. He just posted a link. So what does that tell you? That Kanye West says, yeah, we the children of Israel. They lost their minds. So why is that? Go ahead.
The whole world are enemies to the Jew.
Again, say that again.
The whole world are enemies to the Jew.
The whole world are enemies and adversaries to the real Jews.
That's right.
The real Jews. Okay? But like he said, I know a Lebanese Jew, a Jew from Armenia. I sat down with a Jew from Iran.
Only
Ain't nobody say nothing. But he said, no, not that 12 tribe, not those, not the Israelites. Those not the Jews. Go ahead, real quick.
Yeah, and also on top of that, along with Kyrie saying that, he was trying to go after Amazon too. But at the same time, Amazon also sells Hitler books. They said nothing.
All right, so again, brother Captain I1 said that when Kyrie, when the book that Kyrie mentioned was on Amazon, they tried to go at Amazon. But they couldn't do that because Amazon sells Hitler's books. So it's just like a contradiction or conflict of interest. You leave Hitler books there, but you want to take down this book from Hebrews to Negroes? All right? So think about it. Think about it. What that rapper said, think about it. What's his name? Now, like I said, I've been around long enough when rap first started. All right? I know when it first started to where it is now. And that's a whole different story, man. The way rap is now is not where it was when it started. All right? In the beginning, rap was considered a movement for change. All right? It had a positive agenda in the beginning. Now it's negative. All right? But that's another class. All right? And I've been around long enough. So think about it. All right, what was the rapper name? I forgot his name. See, I tell him my age now. Y'all don't know. Think about it. Think about it. Remember that rapper?
you better think.
Huh?
You better think.
I'll think of a few minutes.
Bombay.
KRS?
No, not KRS. I'll think about it. Okay. And if you know it in the chat, please put it in the chat. All right, so think about it. A black man can say he's a Muslim. He can say he's a Buddhist. He can say he's an Egyptian. He can say all the other things. But if he say he's a Jew, all hell breaks loose. All right, so think about it. It's something into that. All right, now let's continue on with the prophecy of Ezekiel. What verse we was in?
I was in verse 22. I ain't finished it. I'm gonna start again from 22. That's all right.
Yes, speed up. Mhm.
That book of Ezekiel, chapter 37, verse 22. And I, the Most High, will make them one nation in the land upon the mountains of Israel, and one shall be king to them all.
All right, so we get back in the land. We got one king, will be one nation. All right, the children of Israel are not we're not in our land. We're still in what is exile. Okay, continue.
And they shall be no more two nations.
No more two nations.
Neither shall there be divided into two kingdoms anymore
And
at all.
That's the prophet Ezekiel. It ain't gonna be two kingdoms no more. It's gonna be all one kingdom. We're all gonna be together. So the lost tribe that he's talking about going to be back together. All right, and it ain't gonna be by no faith, and we're gonna see that too. All right, continue.
Neither shall they defile themselves anymore with their idols.
All right, let's just keep going. Just jump to let's just jump to verse 26. We'll just speed up a little
Verse
bit.
26.
Yeah.
Moreover, I will make a covenant of peace with them.
All right, so the Most High said, because I'm going to bring them back together, all the tribes. I'm going to make a covenant with peace with them. All right, peace, shalom or shalom. Okay, go ahead.
It shall be an everlasting covenant with them.
An everlasting covenant. So all the tribes, we're going to come back together forever. Continue.
And I, the Most High, will place them and multiply them, and will set my sanctuary in the midst of them forevermore.
And the Most High says, I'm going to set in my sanctuary in the midst of them forever. Forever. All right, ain't going to be no more lost tribes. Okay, continue.
My tabernacle also shall be with them.
And the tabernacle and also the ark. The ark's going to be with them. All right, continue.
Yea, I, the Most High, will be their power, and they shall be my people.
And we're going to be his people. It ain't going to be by no faith. We're going to see that. It's not by faith. That's good. Those are the real, how would you say, children of Israel. By genetics. Bloodline. Okay, continue.
And the heathen shall know that I, the Most High, the Lord Yahweh, do sanctify Israel.
Underline that. That's powerful, right? Do you hear that prophecy? And it says the heathen. Go ahead.
Saladonia said it was special ed.
Special ed. All right. All right. So yeah, somebody might be my age. So I'm probably older than Nori, and I'm probably older than Shine. I'm probably older than them. But I've been around long enough. The inception of rap. You see what I'm saying? I've been around long enough. So I know all about this. I'm from New York. I'm from New York. All right. So yeah, it was special ed. So think about it. Think about it. All right. And let's think as we read the scriptures. Let's think about it. All right. Read that verse again. That's a powerful verse. Verse 28. Underline that in your Bible. Underline this in your Bible. Verse 28 again. 37 and 28.
You know, the book of Ezekiel 37, verse 28. And the heathen shall know that I, the Most High, the Lord Yahweh, do sanctify Israel.
Right, so we underline it. It says, and the heathen. Heathenists are who? Everybody that's not of the children of Israel. The Most High said the heathen going to know. All the rest of the nations is going to know. The whole world other than the children of Israel is going to know who we are. And it's coming to that point. You can't stop this. You can't stop this knowledge. It's all over the world. It's in Europe now. It's in Russia. All right? It's in Africa. This knowledge is all over. Even Sean talked about Belize. We got camps in Belize. And he see them down there teaching. So he knows. He knows. All right? So it says here, and the heathen shall know that I, the Lord, do sanctify, cleanse Israel. All right, continue.
When my sanctuary shall be in the midst of them forevermore. Verse 38.
Verse 28. First read that. Okay, if a sanctuary be with them forevermore, the tip of the Most High is going to be with them forevermore. Can y'all see that? All right, couple more scriptures. I got to. You remember, I'm Israelite, so I got to go into this Bible. All right, Jeremiah the 31 chapter. Write these scriptures down. Jeremiah the 31st chapter. Jeremiah 31st chapter. Let's read the 35th verse.
Now the book of Jeremiah, chapter 31, verse 35.
Come on.
Thus said the Lord Yahweh, which giveth the sun for a light by day, and the ordinances of the moon and of the stars for a light.
All right, so now it's telling you here in the book of Jeremiah that the Most High created what? The sun, the moon, and the stars to give light for the day and light for the night. Keep in mind, the sun is made for the day. That gives us light. The moon and the stars give us light in what? The night. The sun rules the day. The moon rules the night. That's all in the book of Genesis during creation. That's another class. Okay, continue.
By night, which divides the sea, when the waves thereof roar. The Lord Yahweh of hosts is his name.
The Most High is his name. He created that. And as you know, the moon, that divides the sea to keep the moon, gravity of the moon keeps the water from going into the shore. Whether you know that or not. The Most High created the moon with gravity to keep the water from going from the beach from going onto the shores. That's the gravity of the moon. The Most High is amazing in creativity. Okay? The gravity of the moon holds, if the moon wasn't there, it'd be water everywhere. Okay? All right, continue.
If those ordinances depart from before me.
All right, so he said, the sun departs from me. If the stars depart from me, if the moon depart from me, and if the water goes over the beach onto the shore, if this happens, go ahead.
Saith the Lord Yahweh, then the seed of Israel also shall cease from being a nation before me forever.
Underline that. That's heavy. That's heavy. And notice again, they use the word seed. The word seed is there, meaning genetically, bloodline, patriarch, because you trace your ancestry through your father. Patriarch, your forefathers. There's no such thing called foremothers. We don't have foremothers. We have forefathers. And the so-called Jews, and we call them so-called because they're not the Jews. Even Candace Owens knows this. All right? And actually, she quoted one of our scriptures that she probably heard us on the street. She had an interview, I think, with a rabbi. All right? And I don't know if our video man can find that interview, but it's an interview she had, and she told him that they are from the synagogue of Satan. They say they're Jews and are not. She quoted that in this interview to a so-called Jew. Now, where did she get that knowledge from? She had to hear us teaching that, whether it's on street or whether it's on YouTube. All right, all the different camps and schools, she heard that from somewhere. Where she get that from? Because she knows. Okay, all right, continue on. Now it says the seed of Israel. It says if those ordinances, the moon, the stars, the water go over the beach. If this happens, then the seed of Israel, the genes or the lineage of Israel, shall cease from being a nation before him. So that means before me forever. That means, that tells you right there that the children of Israel are still on this earth. Right. They're still on this earth. The seed of the children of Israel is still here because we still see the moon, right? See the full moon, right? Then you see the first phase of the moon, quarter moon. You see all of that. And you see the sun every morning. All right? That means the children of Israel are still here. All right? You got to understand these scriptures. All right, continue.
Thus said the Lord Yahweh, if heaven above can be measured.
Now check this out. Listen what he's saying. The Most High saying, if you can measure the heavens, this gets deep here. The Most High said, if you can measure the heavens, because the powers that be, our government, don't matter if it's a Russian government, doesn't matter, China government, the U.S. government, all the superpowers cannot measure the heavens. All right, they say there's 9 planets. It's more than 9 planets. There's so many galaxies out there, they don't even know. All right, so the Most High said, if you can measure the heavens, if you can do that, go ahead, continue.
And the foundations of the earth.
And the foundations of the earth, go ahead.
Search out beneath.
If you can find out the foundations of the earth, search out beneath. So the Most High, he put it, that's gangster the way he write it. He said, if you can search all the heavens and even go under the water, because even now a submarine can't go but so far. And what will happen if a submarine go? It will explode. Implode. The pressure is going to implode. What was that movie? With Denzel Washington, I believe. Where they was in the submarine. Hunt for Red October, I believe. So go back and watch that. And you'll see they can't go but so far. It's actually cities under there. It's cities under there. Okay?
You said go to the foundation and then go search under the foundation.
Go ahead.
Something interesting too is when was Jeremiah written? Like thousands of years ago, before the advent of all this technology, and they still can't do it. So it just shows how real the Most High's word is.
Yeah, this prophecy is strong. It's prophecy ever. Like you said, like the prophecy said, like Captain LeBron said, he says here, the Most High, if you could go to the foundation of the earth and go beneath that, that's heavy. That's heavy. China can't do it, Russia can't do it, and America can't do that. And then, like the captain says here also, he says, Yahweh says, this word was written so many years ago, 1,000 years ago. This word is standing, and they still can't do it. Still can't do it. The Most High got a plan. He has a plan, brother. The prophecies are real. So he says, if you can do all of this, continue reading.
The Most High will also cast off all the seed of Israel for all that they have done.
Underline that. Underline that. He said, if y'all can do that, then I'm going to cast off again. He put the word seed of Israel. That's important. I'm going to cast all the lineage of Israel. So when Sean said that Israel like is being the faith, he's totally incorrect. He doesn't know the scriptures. He don't know history. Okay? He doesn't know the history. He said, if you can do that, then I'm going to get rid of the seed of Israel, the lineage of Israel, and cast them away for what they have done. And that's another subject, what they have done. Okay? Do y'all see that? All right, now, let's go to the book of Luke. I'm an Islam in the scriptures. Go to the book of Luke, the 21st chapter. Again, in the time of Christ, when Christ was doing the Romans, there was only so-called African Americans, so-called West Indians, I use so-called, and so-called Haitians in his presence. Now you have stragglers of the other tribes, Asher, so they were stragglers, but the majority of them was away. All right. Now, that's why in the book of James said, what, to the 12 tribes of Israel scattered abroad. All right. That's the first sentence of. Let's go to that real quick. James 1:1. And he's talking about it's a faith. It's not a faith. Go to the book of James. Hold on. Look at the first scripture of the book of James. So
Now the book of James, chapter 1, verse 1.
Go ahead.
James, a servant of the Most High Power and of the outer one, Mashiach Yahushua, to the 12 tribes which are scattered abroad.
Underline that. Underline that in your Bible. Underline it. It says to the 12 tribes that are what? Scattered abroad. That's not no faith. Those are real genealogical people that are actually scattered abroad throughout this world. All right? It is a quote-unquote race of people. And I don't like using that word, but just for the sake of understanding, and because he used that terminology, it is a race. Okay? All right, go back to Luke 21st chapter, 20th verse. Now listen to this prophecy. This is going to show you another thing. It's not a belief.
So verse 28.
Book of Luke, chapter 21. All right, Book of Luke, 21st chapter. Let's start at the 20th verse.
We're in the book of Luke, chapter 21, verse 20.
Go ahead.
And when ye shall see Jerusalem compassed with armies.
All right, now this is Christ speaking. Those who got red letter Bibles, you can see it. It's all written in red. This is Christ speaking. He told the southern kingdom, Judah, Benjamin, Levi, when you see the Roman armies, or you see Jerusalem compassed with armies, those are Romans. All right, continue.
Then know that the desolation thereof is nigh.
All right, so then know that the destruction is near, because the armies are considered the Romans. All right, they're going to come past, and this is part of the Roman Catholic Church too. All right, and that's another class. It gets a little deeper. That's the Roman Catholic Church as well, the Romans. Now the Romans, I'm gonna tell you something. This is slap in the face. The Romans killed all disciples. Caesar, they killed all the disciples, right? But then the Roman Catholic Church turned around and called them saints. You go, now you kill them, and now you call them a Saint Matthew, Saint Paul. Now you make them a saint in the Roman Catholic Church after you killed them. That's a slap in the face. All right? Because the Roman Catholic Church, that goes back to the Romans, the Italians. Okay? Continue on. Go ahead, Ben.
But the Most High is making them acknowledge the murder that they have committed. So when the time comes, they can't say they didn't do it. So that's by their willing confession, not knowing what they did and calling them saints. So they acknowledge what they did. So when the time comes for judgment, they can't say we didn't do it, because the Most High got them admitting it before the whole world.
Right.
You understand?
He would Ben say he got them, the Roman Catholic Church, admitting that what they did was wrong by killing all disciples and making them saints. They admitting that what they were and what they did was wrong. And not only that, when you read the history of 70 AD, when they pillaged our land and went to our temple, they took all our gold. All right? They took all our gold. And another class, I teach you where that gold went. They still got our gold from when they went in 70 AD. Okay? The menorah they took. All right? You can actually, they got there's a the Ark of Titus. It actually shows you that the Romans going to our temple taking our menorah. So they got a menorah that was in the temple during disciples.
And it's written in Latin, Judea capture. Judea have been captured.
Right. Matter of fact, it's a video problem. They could pull that up. All right, they can pull it up. In the meantime, you keep reading. Oh, he got it? Okay. All right. Okay. Now, like I said, the Romans, they came and destroyed Jerusalem. And then they robbed us. They actually robbed us. And you can see they actually taken, like I said, they taken they actually taken the menorah. And this ark is actually still standing to this day. They celebrated that along with the gold and so forth. All right. So this is what Christ was talking about, that destruction. Go ahead, real quick.
That's on the cover of the book of Who Are the Edomites too.
That's right.
You got the menorah right there, taking it out of the temple.
That's correct. Because they know.
Right.
We just don't know. Our people destroyed for the lack of knowledge.
Can I add to you some, Caraza? And today, the modern day Roman Empire includes America, NATO, the EU, and all the European powers.
I hear that.
That's the modern day Roman Empire.
Ben said the modern day Roman Empire consists of, go ahead.
America, NATO, the EU, and all the European nations. That's the modern day Roman Empire.
That's right.
Okay? All right. But our people don't consider that. They don't consider that. And I'm gonna show you. All right, now, even, and I don't want to make this personal, but when Sean, he wants to be a prime minister and believes, right? Who's on the face of the money in Belize?
Queen of England.
The Queen of England is on the face of money. He's not going to make no change, no real change. All right? Because you still, even though they've been independent since 1981, but the head of state is still King Charles. He's still the head of the state. They're part of the Commonwealth. The British still train their soldiers in Belize. Yeah.
The biggest, Belize has its own army, but the biggest army in Belize at all time is England.
All right, so the brother, and matter of fact, you from Belize.
I'm from Belize.
The weapons and everything they use, the uniform, everything.
So say that again, yeah, brother. He's not, this brother is from Belize. All right, go ahead.
Belize has its own army, but the biggest army at all times in Belize is the English.
Now, this is a brother that's from Belize and goes in often. And he says here, Belize has their own army, but the biggest army in Belize is the army from
England. At
England.
all times. It's never, because they fly in and out all the time, so it's never.
They fly in and out.
Yeah, there's never a non-English presence there, English army presence there.
So it's always a presence of England in Belize.
In any English colony that they once had, any English so-called what they call independent. Let me say something to it.
Yeah.
This has really ticked me off with all the islands that claim to be independent.
Mm-hmm.
If you do not have veto power in the UN, you're not an independent nation.
All right, repeat what Ben said. If you don't have veto power in the UN, United Nations, you're not considered or not actually independent.
The only people that have veto power is the United States and Russia.
The United States and Russia. Okay. So that makes sense. Okay. All right, like I said, I don't want to make it too personal, but I gotta bring those things out. Okay. Now, let's go back to Luke 21 and 20.
The book of Luke, chapter 21, verse 20.
Come on.
And when ye shall see Jerusalem compassed with armies, then know that the desolation thereof is nigh.
All right, so destruction. When you see the Roman armies come on our homeland, Jerusalem, all right, then you know that destruction is near. Go ahead.
Then let them which are in Judea flee to the mountains.
All right, that's what Yahushua was saying. Go ahead.
And let them which are in the midst of it depart out.
Mm-hmm.
And let not them that are in the countries enter thereinto.
So he said, flee. Don't even go into Jerusalem because destruction is coming. The Roman armies is coming. All right, go ahead.
For these be the days of vengeance, that all things which are written may be fulfilled.
All right, slow down a little bit there. Let's underline where it says, for these be the days of vengeance, that all things which were written. Question is, written where? All things that were written will be fulfilled. Now, I'm going to show you for the ones that don't know. Let's go to the book of Deuteronomy, 29th chapter.
The book of Deuteronomy, chapter 29, verse.
Let me get that. Deuteronomy 29. And let's read verse 28.
The book of Deuteronomy, chapter 29, verse 28.
Mm-hmm.
And the Lord Yahweh rooted them out of their land in anger.
All right, so that's what Most High did to us. We in this land over here because of the anger of the Most High. Slavery didn't happen for no reason. The Middle Passage didn't happen for no reason. It was more than 6 million people died on the way over here in ships. And the Africans hated us. And we're going to read that too. They hated us. Okay? The Most High rooted us out of anger. All right, continue.
And in wrath.
And in wrath. Mm-hmm.
And in great indignation.
Mm-hmm.
And cast them into another land as it is this day.
Even to this day. You see that prophecy? The Most High cast us into America and the Caribbean, all the islands thereof. Cast us there. That's why the people know the truth about us. They know that truth, and they know what we teach in the highways and byways of truth. All right, go ahead.
The killer is, and to this day.
You see that? This Bible is powerful. And unto this day. So if we are the people of the Bible, then who are they? This ain't the so-called Jews. This ain't that Lebanese Jew that Sean sat down with. This ain't that Jew from Iran that he sat down with. Or the Polish Jew. that ain't them. All right? It gotta make sense. Think about it. Think about it.
And he considers them to be Jew, but not us. That's in 42nd Street.
Exactly.
That's telling the people who we are. Ain't it something?
Exactly. It's kind of sad, and Nori just sitting there. He don't know. It's sad. He had no knowledge whatsoever. Like I said, I'm probably older than him. I'm probably older. I'm from New York. I've been here. All right. He don't know. He's like, he don't know. And he's just spewing misinformation, no knowledge. All right. And they all younger than me. All right. But it's just sad. It's just sad. All right. Continue on. Verse 29.
The secret things belong unto the Lord Yahweh, our most high power, but those things which are revealed belong unto us.
All right, so the things that are revealed, meaning in this Bible, belong to us. We're the ones that teaching the truth. We're revealing what the Bible say. It belongs to us. All right?
And to our children.
And who? To our children. The prophecies belong to our children. This book is written for our children. All right, continue.
Forever.
For what?
Forever. That we may do all the words of this law.
Of this law. All right. All right, go back to Luke 21:20. Let's read the verse up to 24. All right, let's go back to verse Luke 21, Luke 20. Let's
verse 21? No.
23 and 24, and we stop there.
All right. We're in the book of Luke, chapter 20, verse 23. But woe unto them that are with child.
That's what Christ saying. Oh man, he said, woe or destruction to them that are with child. So all the women at that time, when the Romans are coming, if you had a child, he said, woe to you. All right, continue.
And to them that give suck.
And then if you had just a newborn baby, all right, just a newborn baby. Go ahead.
In those days, for there shall be a great distress in the land and wrath upon this people.
All right, it could distress the land and wrath upon this people. This people is talking about the children of Israel, the southern kingdom, Judah, Benjamin, Levi, or what we know, African Americans, so-called West Indians, and the Haitians. They were there. They were there. These are the ones that was in 70 AD. And this is what we teach on the streets. All right? All right, verse 24. Now, this is heavy verse here, verse 24. Go ahead.
And they shall fall by the edge of the sword.
As a nation, we fell by the sword in 70 AD. 70 AD. Sean knows that. We fell by the sword in 70 AD. All right, continue.
And shall be led away captive into all nations. And
read that again. It should be, we would led away captive into all nations. The Jews were led away captive into all nations. But you're going to say Jews being the faith? No, it's not a faith. It is a race of people. The race of people was led into captivity to all nations. It's not a belief. All right, continue.
And Jerusalem shall be trodden down of the Gentiles.
All right, so our homeland has been trodden down by the Gentiles, other nations. The Most High, he's pissed at that. He's mad at that. All right, he's mad at that too. All right, continue.
until the times of the Gentiles be fulfilled.
Which is still to this day. That's why the black man in America and the Caribbean and the islands and even the other tribes had never been back to our homeland. Because the time of the Gentiles hasn't been fulfilled. It is the time of the Gentiles right now. That's why you got America ruling. That's why you got Great Britain ruling. Because it's still the time of the Gentiles, but it will end. All great kingdoms fall sooner or later. Like we said, America going to be 250 years old in the year 2026. All right? All nations fall sooner or later. But our people still want to vote for Kamala. See, that's what makes the mentality of Israelite different. When you see those rappers, they believe in America. I don't believe in America because I know too much history. I know this Bible as well. I know prophecy. All great kingdoms fall sooner or later. I don't believe in America. So anytime you vote, especially for the president, and your vote actually even go, it don't even go to the president, go to the electoral college. We taught about that. Every time you vote for a president, you believe in America. That's why they say make America great again. They mean that. They mean that. All right? They actually mean that. So you actually voting for America to sustain. But according to scripture, it's not going to sustain. And we just got so hooked up in Kamala and she lost. You ain't gonna see her no more. She's done. She's done. You never gonna see her no more. All right? She is done. Obama's done too. His ghetto card has been taken away. He can't get no respect no more. He's done. That's why they're gonna make America great again. They mean that. But the Most High says, I'm going to let the kingdoms rule and then I'm going to take them down. But my point is, historically, if you're historian, you understand that all great kingdoms fall sooner or later. America will be 250 years old in 2026. It's going to be some things happening in 2025 and 2026. Mark our word and understand the prophecies of this Bible. It's not going to get any easier. All right? All right? Where we are. Until the time of the Gentiles fulfill. Okay, that's 70 AD. Now,
can I say something?
Yeah.
And we have to see the greatness of the Most High. That what His words is so profound and is so true. He told the prophets these things way before any historian could write a book or document any historical documents proving what would happen to us.
Yes.
Before any historian could document the transatlantic slave trade and what will happen to us.
That's true. Yeah, here with Ben said, y'all got Ben started. It's all there. But our people just so, can I get along? We just been broken. All right, we've been broken. All right, now, let's go to slide 8. Because scripture said we root us out of our land into another land. To this day. That happened in 70 AD. We haven't went back. Let's go to, I'm sorry, slide, is it slide number 8? You get slide number 8, I believe. No, I'm sorry. Give me slide number 10. I'm going to jump around a little bit. Slide number 10. All right. Now, you've all seen this before. You've all seen this before. This book right here is one of the main books that we, as Israelites that teach on the street, we've referred to this book here, From Babylon to Timbuktu. If you don't have it, go and get it. Great brother Rudolph R. Windsor, he was able to do some research to put in the book for us. Okay, and Israelites, we're going to read. That's one of the ways Israelites read. We read. That's some black men that read, and those are Israelites. We read. You put in the book, we're going to find it. Guarantee we're going to find it if it's in a book. Okay? That's just our spirit. We blessed. Okay? So we're not no so-called niggas. All right? Because we read. All right, now, from Babylon Timbuktu, I'm going to read a passage. This is page 84. Very famous. We teach it in the street all the time. All right. It says here, in 70 AD, Juno Vespasian and his son Titus put an end to the Jewish state. That's how it shows you the prophecies of this Bible are on point and truth. Because what we just read, that was Christ prophesying 70 AD. Now, what year did he die? 33 AD. So that's what, 37 years later? He prophesied 37 years ahead of time about 70 AD, but the Romans coming in and destroying. That's how on point the prophecy of the Bible. But you got no history to match it up. All right, so in 70 AD, General Vespasian and his son Titus put an end to the Jewish state, Jerusalem, with great slaughter. And it killed us. Those Romans killed us. They slaughtered us. It was worse than what you see in Gaza. All right? The greatest tragedy, they said the greatest tragedy, or one of the greatest tragedies, when Herod, when you read the book of Matthew, the 2nd chapter, Matthew, the 3rd chapter, when Herod killed all the firstborn of the children of Israel. Herod killed a lot of kids. That's one of the greatest atrocities in history. He killed all the firstborn trying to find Christ. A massacre. And you're going to say, Sean going to say it's not a race? All right? It got to make sense. Think about it. Think about it, all right? And it says that during the period of military governors of Palestine, many outrageous atrocities was committed against the residue of the people, children of Israel. During the period from Pompey to Julius, it has been estimated that over 1 million Jews fled into Africa. In 70 AD, we fled to Africa. We fled to Europe as well, but it said over 1 million Jews fled into Africa. This is in the book. Fleeing from Roman persecution and slavery. The slave markets were full of black Jewish slaves. This is documented. Documented. All right? Now, if you got notes, learn this. There was 3 kingdoms on the west coast of Africa. 3 Hebrew kingdoms. So when we fled into Africa, eventually over 1,000 years later, we wound up on the west coast of Africa. The Ivory Coast, the Gold Coast. All right? There was 3 major kingdoms on the west coast of Africa. 3 major kingdoms. Okay? There was Mali, Ghana, and Songhai. Right again. Mali, Ghana, and Songhai. I want you to write that in your notes and search those kingdoms. Those are not African kingdoms. Those are Hebrew kingdoms on the west coast of Africa. Now, I have something in my possession. And
one of the areas was called Fort de Judah.
Okay.
Judah.
It was called Fort Judah.
Fort Judah. Fort de Judah.
Fort de Judah.
Yeah.
Which means what Judah's what? That's out. Think about it, everybody. Go ahead. I'm in possession of a document, a rare document. And is any way you can get an email? I got a rare document that I want to show everyone. You want to say something while I get this? You want to say something? Yeah. Okay. The last 3 major kingdoms, Hebrew kingdoms, on the west coast of Africa, was Mali, Ghana, and Songhai. Let me see. I think I just sent it to you. All right, now, so those people that fled into Africa that we learned from Babylon and Timbuktu, they wound up on the west coast of Africa. Now, I have a critical, and I hold this document, and I show this to biblical scholars. I show this to historians all the time. I'm not going to tell you where I got it from. I had this for years.
Ready?
Hmm?
I got it.
You can pull it up. It's called, this is a Quaker, it comes from the Quaker Notes. Quaker Notes, right? And all right, this is from the Quakers. This is a primary source. All right, this is called the Quaker Notes. Now, this is primary evidence of who we are. It's going to show you, it's going to tell you. All right, this is literature. I don't know how I don't know. Okay. Many people don't have this. With the house, they have this in their libraries. Okay. It's called the Observations. This is written by the Quakers. Observations on the enslaving, importing, and purchasing of Negroes. With the sworn advice, they were extracted from the epistle or letter of the yearly meeting of the people called Quakers, held in where? London, in the year of 1758. So this is written in 1758 in London by the Quakers. Now, if you go towards the bottom in the red or pink writing, I highlighted at the bottom to the left. It doesn't come out. Oh, it's under the green, but I'm gonna read it. Okay, there you go. At the bottom, it says here, because it's hard, it's kind of hard to read this because they make an SV. When the Quakers write, they make the S a F or V. All right, so I'm gonna read it. It says here that in the time of full peace, nothing is more common than for the Negroes of one nation to steal those of another nation. I'm gonna read that again. This is the Quakers wrote this. It says here that in the time of full peace, because remember, it's 3 kingdoms on the west coast of Africa. All right? We were Hebrew kingdoms. We're a totally different nation from the Africans. The Africans are Hamites, like we talked about. It says here that this is documented, that in the time of full peace, nothing is more common than for the Negroes of one nation to steal those of another and sell them to the Europeans. It's written there. It's written there. The Quakers actually wrote that. They know there's 2 different nations of people that was on the west coast of Africa.
Read it again.
I'm going to read it again. I'm going to read it again. It says that in a time of full peace, nothing is more common than for the Negroes of one nation to steal those of another and sell them to the Europeans. Documented. All right, now we're going to go further. I'm going to go in the red part to the right. It says here that in his time, the Europeans furnished the Negroes with incredible quantity of firearms and gunpowder, which was then the chief vendible merchandise there. So in other words, the Europeans, they knew 2 nations was fighting. So they gave the Africans gunpowder and firearms. And this is in the scriptures, this is in the prophecies too in the Bible. All right? That's why they know the prophecies of the Bible are on point. All right, real quick, go ahead. Yeah, we got as well. But the Quakers talk about the west coast of Africa right here. So they gave them gunpowders, and it tells you in the scripture, tell you how we was cast for lots.
Yeah, Joel.
All right, that's the book of Job. All right, the prophecy is on fire. They're right on point. All right. Then it says here, it's kind of small. It's towards the top on the right side, that first red part. All right. Now the second part, the red section on the right, Negroes been the more induced not only to wage war with one another, but also to put in practice the most base and inhumane methods. Now, when you read about the history of the Africans hated us so much on the west coast of Africa. They wanted us out of Africa. To the sisters, the Africans would grab, while you pregnant, they would grab you, put you on the ground, and slice your belly open, take your baby out, and throw it against the rocks. That's documented. The Africans did that. It tells you, if we didn't come to America in the Caribbean, if we didn't come to Barbados, Jamaica, Charleston, South Carolina, all right, St. Croix, Trinidad, if we didn't go to all those, the Africans would have killed us off. They wanted to destroy us. So even though we came to slavery, it's both two evils, but they would have killed us off. The Africans would have killed us all if the Europeans didn't take us and bring us here. They would have killed us. So it says here that most base and inhumane methods in order to get their unhappy countrymen. This is written. We were the unhappy countrymen, the Hebrews, into their power, that they may sell them to the Europeans, traders. This is documented. Documented. Like I said, the House of David has this. Okay? I'm gonna get one more. It said the Europeans are far from desiring to act as peacemakers amongst the Negroes, which would be acting contrary to their interests. So they weren't really peacemakers. The Quakers wrote this. And he said the Quakers don't lie, right? They don't lie, right? The Quakers don't lie, right? So this is written. And it says, it says, since the greater the wars, the more slaves are procured. All right, last one. It says here, those slaves sold by the Negroes are for the most part prisoners of war. This is all documented. As to this day, we're still prisoners of war. Right. Taken either in the fight or pursuit, or the incursions they make into their enemies' territories. Africans are our enemies. Okay? We ain't no Egyptians. The Egyptians on the east coast of Africa. How are we going to be Egyptians? Brothers, they're Egyptians. Kemet. You ain't no Kemet. There was no Egyptians on the slave ships. That's right. All right? But when you get the opportunity, go back and read about the last three kingdoms on the west coast of Africa. The last one was Sangay that ended in 1492. The same year Chris Columbus so-called discovered America. That was the last great kingdom, Hebrew kingdom. You got that? All right, a little bit more. All right, let's go back to Drink Champs. Let's go to Drink Champs for a second.
Could you also read that in Timbuktu 2, where he said we took our customs and our written records with us with our friend. I think it's on page.
I don't got the whole book. I don't have the book here. All I got is page 84.
I think it's in the end part of 84 too, where he said we took We did not blend in with the African community, and we took our written records and heritage with us. That's funny.
Hey, if anybody got this, bring back slave. I mean, Tim, but give that to Ben.
But I don't have the highlight.
What you need?
And Babylon.
Babylon Timbuktu.
I got it. What you need?
The part so we took our written records with us, and we did not blend in with the native community of Africa.
Matter of fact, put that slide back up. Timbuktu.
You know where it's at?
I bet you.
Yo, put your phone on.
All right.
Okay.
Just want to share with you a cover also. While Ben getting that, I want to share with you a cover. You can take that down. It said, it's called The Crisis. It says here, a record of the dark races, volume 1, Black slavery is documented in the 12th chapter of Deuteronomy. And this is its famous sign, to be sold on board ships. Okay? Ships. Negroes. We're the only one that's been sold into slavery or to bondage. No one has been sold on ships to bondage. Okay? No one else has ever been to bondage on slave ships. And the Most High told us in Deuteronomy 28 chapter, 68 verse, it said that you would go and take bondage again. Second time with ships. Okay, matter of fact, in the meantime, Ben getting that. Pull slide, give me slide 9. All right, Deuteronomy 28 chapter says the Most High, you can go to that scripture if you want on your own. The Most High said, I will send you back into Egypt again. The first time we was in Egypt was during the time of Moses. That was bondage. It said again, a second time. But this time you're going to go on ships. Nobody's ever experienced that but us. Now, if you look at it, it shows you the same thing happened in Egypt, happened in America. Look at it. Taskmasters in Egypt. You see the hieroglyphics? You see the drawings? They was in the caves. The same image we had in Egypt, we had in America. Taskmasters with the whips. Okay? It's the same thing. You only been in bondage twice. Assyrian was a captivity. That wasn't a bondage. The Greeks was what? A captivity. The Persian was a captivity, right? All right? Babylon was a captivity. The Roman, we was in exile during the Roman time. Exile. And we've been in exile ever since, but we came back to bondage. The prophecy was fulfilled when we came over here in slave ships. All right? My foreparents came to Charleston, South Carolina. That's where ships came at. And that's how the rest of us got here to America and wound up in Texas, and we migrated to LA, Chicago, up north. But they all came through Charleston, South Carolina. My brethren that's in the Caribbean, they went to Jamaica, all right, went to all the islands there on the slave ships. There's records that says that the most rebellious, when they was going to take the slaves and sell to Europeans, they said the most rebellious ones, because they started infiltrating. The most rebellious ones, they took to the Caribbean islands because it was shorter distance. Get them off quick, because the West Indian, y'all brothers fought back. The Haitians, y'all fought back. It said that the ones that was more passive, those are more like the kings. They knew what was happening. They going down. The most passive ones, they took to Charleston, South Carolina. And that's how we know that's the tribe of Judah. Those are the kings. Okay? And other nations, other islands, or the other tribes are not going to do anything until the black man in America stands up. That's in prophecy. because that's Judah. Now, this is knowledge Sean needs to have. He doesn't have that. No, he don't have that. All right? They don't have that knowledge. So it's something to think about. All right? All right, now, let's go to go back to Drink Champ video. I got the video guy going all over the place. I'm trying to wrap this up. Again, this is not a personal attack. Go back to Drink Champ's video. And maybe a couple of seconds of this. Yeah. Let's see what Sean says here. He gets confused here.
You have Jews from all over Europe.
Wow.
But those Jews that are in Europe came from Africa, came from Israel. They were persecuted in Jerusalem and in Israel, and they fled to Europe.
Right.
So the point I'm making is I don't like to racialize being a Jew.
Right. Right.
Being a Jew is a-racial. Being a Jew is a belief.
Right.
And that is, to believe in one God.
See, he said it's a belief. Being a Jew is a belief. Scriptures don't say that. So what's happening with him? He's getting confused with religion and nationality. He's getting confused with that. Being a Jew is a nationality. You from that nation of people. So when he says he's sitting down with Jews from other areas, they're converts. They're in the religion. Just like Ezra said, we don't want you building with us. He said, we've been following y'all before we came here. We want to help y'all build. Ezra says, no. Zerubbabel said, no, we don't want you building with us. Because it's a nationality. So he gets confused. So the statement I'm going to make this final statement to Mr. Bauer. He says here, Mr. Bauer mistakenly conflates the concept of religion with that of nationality, failing to distinguish between the spiritual and faith-based practices associated with the religion and the cultural, geographical, and political identity tied to nationality. This confusion often leads to misinterpretations, as religion represents a system of beliefs and worship, often transcending borders and national affiliation, while nationality defines one's connection to a specific nation state or cultural heritage. By merging these distinct ideas, he overlooks the nuanced differences that shape individual and collective identities, potentially leading to oversimplifying or inaccurate conclusions about both topics. So again, he's just confused. He confused religion with nationality. And what we do at Israelites, we teach nationality. All right, because the Bible is about nationality. This book is written for the Jews, of the Jews, and by the Jews. This book is about what? A king, a kingdom, and a royal people. Again, the Bible, this whole entire book is about a king, a kingdom, and a royal people. All right, and that's what we teach nationality, about royal people, the king, and also we teach on the kingdom. Okay, now we're going to end up really quick. I just want to go through a couple of slides. Matter of fact, no.
I found it rock off. So when you read it, yeah.
All right, let's read this what Ben got.
Okay, this is Babylon to
can you hear Ben?
Babylon to King.
Hold that, get that. Just let him be near you.
You can hit me up.
Go ahead.
This is on page 90.
Okay, page 90 in book of Timbuktu, Babylon Timbuktu. You can put that slide up if you want.
All right, this is on page 90. I'm gonna start from the top paragraph.
Go ahead.
It says, by what factors can we explain the emergence of Black Hebrew hegemony and leadership over the indigenous tribes? The answer is simple. The Jews came into the Western Sudan from northern and eastern Africa as a result of a chain of commercial and persecutory migrations. The Jews had settled among the most civilized people throughout the ages. They adopted new methods from other people and left their material, educational, and moral imprint among the people with whom they resided. For many centuries, the Hebrews had to employ great physical and psychological initiative. They could not afford to be complacent or apathetic. They were hated. So apathy could mean cultural stagnation or death. The Jews imported into the western part of Africa a superior material, educational, and moral culture soon after 300 AD. And this cultural advancement was not duplicated or exceeded until the ascendancy of the Mohammedan leader Mansa Kankan Musa of Mali in 1312 AD. In the 3rd and 4th centuries AD, the Africans on the West Coast did not possess the cultural superiority of the Africans on the North and East Coast. The Black Jews had an advantage over the African tribes. They carried their culture, history, laws, and written records with them. This assured them a constant precedent for the development of a higher social organization. Because of the stability of the Black Jewish culture, the Jews were not absorbed into the autochthonous population. In fact, the Jews absorbed some of the native tribes. The Jews made use of every opportunity. They were an industrious and skillful people. In the Jewish Ghanaian states were found kings, princes, governors, generals, secretaries, treasurers, revenue agents, judges, architects, engineers, doctors, historians, language interpreters, mathematicians, jewelers, sculptors, masons, carpenters, painters of art, goldsmiths, leather workers, potters, armorers, settlers, blacksmiths, agriculturists, etc. The Black Hebrew kings of Ghana had 2 titles: Kayamaga, Master of Gold, and Ghana, War Chief. All right, and that's just a tidbit of it. And there's more. I just wanted to read that. All
Beautiful.
right?
Yeah. You got to get that book, From Babylon to Timbuktu. All right. And our brothers, man, I hate to say it, man, even on Dream, they gotta get this book themselves. They haven't read it. They haven't read it. Okay? Now, see, one thing about it, like I said, the Israelites, we read the entire book. I'm gonna show you, and I hope Shine reads the book of Revelations. Right? Listen to this prophecy that's going to happen. This prophecy is going to happen. Let's go to Revelation 7 chapter. Revelation 7 chapter. And this is famous prophecy. And this is going to happen. This is the book of Revelations. And like I said, I'm so delighted that I am a Messianic Israelite, because we understand the prophecy.
He's not a Messianic Israelite?
I don't know. I don't know. But he to me, he's more religious and convert. I mean, you gotta remember, he was in Israel with the so-called Jews. Now, there's some sources of the house of David did tell us that Shine actually visited our brothers in Dahomey, Demona. He did visit them. The sources did tell us that. Okay? But he spent majority of his time with the so-called Jews. And I'm going to go into that briefly. All right, but this I'm gonna show you. Go to Revelation 7th chapter. All right. Let's start this first verse. Just gonna show you that being an Israelite is not a faith. It's not a faith. It's not a belief. All right. Let's go to Revelation 7th chapter. Begin the first verse.
But can I say one thing too?
Yeah.
He's running for political office, right?
From what I understand, from what I understand.
So if you run for political office, you know you have to compromise.
Oh yeah.
You can't come all the way. You have to play in between.
Correct.
Right? So he's compromised already. So he don't know what the hell he's talking about.
No, not at all. He don't have the Israelite mind like we do. Take over. If we ain't running it, you gotta remember, we kings. We're not subversives. All right? Or you got an Israelite mind, you thinking about you run. You remember? Because when you got an Israelite mind, and we know our gifts, we the Jews, that's what they call we the Jews of the earth. We the salt of the earth. The earth can't operate without the true Israelites, the true Jews. We the product and the demand. Remember that. We the product and the demand. And once we get that into our mind, no matter what business we in, I don't care if you're a rapper or a basketball player, you got to understand you the product and demand. And what's more important? The product. Don't ever let anybody's economically tell you, or you've learned in economics class, that the demand is better than the product or worth more than the product. No, the product is always worth more than the demand. But what makes us so great, the Most High give us that gift that we are actually the product and the demand to make us self-sufficient. We don't need anybody over us because everybody's going to gravitate to us. But you got to have the mentality. These rappers got to understand you don't need them to distribute.
Right.
You don't need them over you. They're bloodsuckers. You don't need them. You the product. You make the product. They can't do it. They look at you amazed of how you make songs.
Right.
They're amazed.
Right.
Half the time you hide. They're amazed at that too. They're amazed at. They've always been like that. The way we dance, what we do, they're amazed at. So they latch on us to make sales off of us. They need us to survive. Once you realize they can't survive without us, then you understand that you a king.
I really
Yeah.
do it, Raquel.
Mm-hmm.
It was a series on Netflix called Family Business with Ernie Hudson.
Mm-hmm.
And his son was saying the same thing. He said, we make the product.
Mm-hmm.
You understand? We make the product. He said, not so much of the demands,
Mm-hmm.
it's the product. And
Correct.
we make it, and nobody's going to capitalize on the product that we've made.
See, that's
And
the
they stuck to that. And it was their product that made it so good. Even though it was corrupt, what
Right.
they were doing with that drug.
Right.
They made, the family made that drug. And he said, it's our product.
Right.
And nobody's going to capitalize on that product but us.
right.
You understand?
That's the mentality you got to have in anything that you do, because we gifted on all levels. All right, so it's like we can never be sold out because we understand we the product and the demand. All right, now let's take that down to Timbuktu 2. Let's take that slide down and go to the book of Revelation 7th chapter. All right, this is the prophecy that is going to happen. This is the end times. Okay, Revelation 7th chapter.
The book of Revelation, chapter 7, verse 1.
Come on.
And after these things, I, the Most High, saw 4 angels standing on the 4 corners of the earth.
All right, this is John the Revelator. It's the book of Revelation, everybody. All right, everybody don't get to understand this book. We just blessed to have the understanding of this book here. And this is John the Revelator speaking. And he's saying, I saw 4 angels standing on the 4 corners of the earth. All right, this is vision. All right, continue.
Holding the 4 winds of the earth.
Now the angels were holding back the 4 winds of the earth. All right, he's holding back. Okay, continue.
That the wind should not blow on the earth,
Mm-hmm.
nor on the sea, nor on any tree.
So these angels was holding back the destruction from off the earth. He sees them holding it. This is going to happen. He sees them holding the wind and destruction back from the Most High. All right, verse 2.
And I saw another angel ascending from the east.
All right, now he saw another angel coming from the east, from the Most High. In the east was the temple of the Most High at. All right, continue.
Having the seal of the living power.
Having the seal and the knowledge of the living power. All right, he had the seal and knowledge of the Most High, of what his command is going to be. All right, continue.
And he cried with a loud voice to the four angels.
And he cried with a loud voice to the four angels that was holding back the destruction or the winds. Continue.
To whom it was given to hurt the earth and the sea.
Underline that. They were going to hurt and destroy the earth and the sea. All right, continue.
Saying, hurt not the earth.
So he cried a loud voice to the angel, said, hold on. Hold on. Don't hurt the earth. Don't destroy the earth. All right, continue.
Neither the sea.
Neither the sea, because just imagine, y'all don't understand. We can't even fathom what the flood was like during the book of Genesis. Boy, that flood was a hell of a thing. Even though the Most High said there's going to be fire next time, we all know what that means. I don't know which is worse, to perish in the fire or perish in the water. Both of them is rough to go. Unless you disintegrate.
Fire doesn't leave nothing.
Nah, it cleansed you too. All right, now. So it says, hurt not the earth, neither the sea nor the trees. Okay, continue.
Till we have sealed the servants of the Most High in their foreheads.
All right, underline that. It said, till we don't bring destruction until we have sealed the servants of the Most High in their foreheads, in their knowledge. Now, this is twofold, but just to bring it out to you now in this class for this purpose, to the knowledge of the Most High is in their heads. Okay? Don't hurt the earth until this time comes. And believe me, they're holding that while we get this knowledge in our foreheads. So shine, knowing they better wake up. They better wake up. All right, continue on.
And I heard the number of them which were sealed.
Now, just listen to this. Now, he said, I heard the number of them which was sealed. In other words, they're going to be safe. When that destruction comes, they're going to be safe. Go ahead.
And there were sealed 144,000 of all the tribes of the children of Israel.
Underline that. And the ones that are sealed, which we know, Israelites, we know this is the government. It was sealed 144,000. These are descendants. This is not no of them children. This is not no converts. This is not no faith-based Israelite. None of that. These are not faith-based Jews. These are actually descendants of the tribes of Israel, of all the tribes of Israel. Verse 5.
Of the tribe of Judah was sealed 12,000.
You see that? These are actually descendants, people. Go ahead.
Of the tribe of Reuben
Go ahead.
were 12,000. Of the tribe of Gad were 12,000.
All right, so all the tribes will be 12,000 in this government, but those are actually descendants of the children of Israel. Can y'all see that? All right. Last thing. We're going to talk about the land just for now. We're going to talk about the land. Go to the prophecy of the land. Ezekiel 36. Really quick. And this is one of my favorite prophecies, especially as I see what's happening over in Israel now. All right. This is one of my favorite prophecies. And check out the way the Most High breaks this down. Let's start at Ezekiel 36. I'm going to start at 6. I might go back to 5, but start at verse 6.
That book of Ezekiel chapter 36, verse 6. Prophesy, therefore, concerning the land of Israel.
Underline that. It said, prophesy concerning the land, not the people. This the prophecies concerning the land of Israel. The land of Israel. Okay, continue.
And say unto the mountains and to the hills, to the rivers and to the valleys.
All right, so all in Israel, the mountains, the hills, even today, this is the most I talk about today. He prophesying to the land of Israel. Say unto the mountains and to the hills, to the rivers and the valleys. Go ahead.
Thus said the other one, Most High Power, behold, I have spoken in my jealousy and in my fury.
So the Most High is jealous and he's angry. And ain't nothing like the anger of someone that's jealous and boy, that's fury. So the Most High is angry, not jealous like we jealous, but Most High angry at this because this shouldn't be happening. All right? He said, I'm angry because of what?
Because ye have borne the shame of the heathen.
I said, because the land of Israel has bared, carried, and endured the shame of the heathen.
Some dirty bastards.
You see that? Not the children of Israel. He said the heathen, the other nations. All right. So those people that you see in Israel are not the real people that's supposed to be there.
That's right.
Abomination.
All right. Matter of fact, read verse 5.
Verse 5, out of Ezekiel 36, verse 5. Therefore, thus said the other one, Most High Power, surely in the fire of my jealousy have I spoken against the residue of the heathen.
He go, he Most High's back in the fire of his jealousy. All right. I spoken against the residue of the heathen. The residue heathen are those so-called Israelis. This prophecy is referencing them. Matter of fact, put up slide 15. All right. The residue of the heathen. The residue meaning, even though they're all Edomites, but they're the residue. All right. The residue of the heathen. All right. The small part. Small but powerful part. The Israelis, they got power. They got power. For now. Yeah, for now. Okay. All right. And this is not hate speech. And this is not anti-Semitic either. This is not anti-Semitism. Because what? The real Jews it's more than that's a misnomer. Put it that way. All right. Fake term. Real quick. All right.
And these here is different from Netanyahu.
Oh yeah.
He's a different set compared to them.
Yeah.
That's who mainly the Most High is talking about. Netanyahu and his crew.
You hear that? Ben said.
Those are the Zionists.
Well, yeah, the Zionists. All right.
Those, yeah.
All right. So, like I said, it's different levels. Right. Even the ones you see right here in Brooklyn with the fur hats. That's not the Most High people, man. All right. So now, all right. So it says here, finish reading. It says here, against the rest of the heathen, go ahead. And what?
From me?
Yep, stay with me. Verse 5.
Verse 5. Okay, so I'm going to read it from the top. From Ezekiel 35, verse 5.
36, verse 5.
Okay, point. 36, verse 5. Therefore, thus says the outer one, Most High Power, surely in the fire of my jealousy have I spoken against the residue of the heathen.
And like Ben said, more specifically the Zionists. All right? Okay, go ahead.
And against all Idumea.
And against all Idumea. All right, the other ones that come to Israel. Okay, go ahead.
Which have appointed my land into their possession.
Moses said they appointed my land in their possession. In 1948, they appointed their land, his land, into their possession.
That's right.
The Balfour Declaration, they've done that. The British, the U.S. and Russia did that. Matter of fact, hold that. Go to slide number 12.
I was complicit in that crime.
Let me show you this. I'm trying to end this class, everybody. I'm trying to end this class. All right, give me a few more minutes. All right, now, even this president knows. This is one of the, how would you say, brightest and smartest presidents that the United States had, Jimmy Carter. Actually, he just passed away recently. Right? Am I correct? Yeah. But I think he's in hospice. He's in hospital. Yeah. Yeah, I think he's in hospice. But anyway, Jimmy Carter is one of the, how would you say, most read, meaning that they said everything that came across his desk, he read. All right, to the point where I got a book of his. I'm sure this book is called "The Blood of Abraham" by Jimmy Carter. It's a book. All right. Now he got this. He got some information in here. Now I'm gonna read some of the stuff out here, but it's called "The Blood of Abraham." This is Jimmy Carter. Okay. This is in our library. So even in here, he says, read a couple of things really quick. He gives a chronology of Israel.
And he was a farmer. Imagine that. A farmer.
Yeah.
He did his research.
Yeah. I mean, it's a lot of bones in it, but he knows the history. He says, in 1000 BC, Saul is anointed king of the Israelites. King David, his successor, unites the 12 tribes of Israel and wins control of the fertile lands on both sides of the Jordan River, as well as the portions of Syria. King Solomon, David's son, builds the first temple in Jerusalem. In 930 BC, okay, you give a chronology. The Israelite nation divides into two weaker kingdoms, Israel, 10 tribes in the north, Judah, 2 tribes in the south. They survive frequent conflicts with the neighbors until Israel is progressively destroyed by the Syrians in 721 to 715. Judah is destroyed in 587 BC by the Babylonians, who take many of the Jews captives. This marks the beginning of the Jewish diaspora or dispersion. Then he goes on to say, so he knows this knowledge. 70 AD, the Jewish revolt against Rome was put down. The temple of Jerusalem is destroyed. So he knows about that information. Following further Jewish revolts, the Romans prevailed and laid waste to Judea. Many more of the Jews are exiled in other regions. All right, then he goes on to say, in 1947, after Jewish terrorist attacks against British facilities, I didn't know that, and personnel and other worldwide pressure to provide a home for the displaced Jews, these are so-called Jews, Britain allows the newly formed United Nations to decide what to do about Palestine. This is 1947. Then he says in November 1947, led by the United States and the Soviet Union, the UN votes in favor of partitioning Palestine, now occupied about 1 million Muslims, 600,000 Jews, and 150,000 Christians. Palestine is divided into Jewish, Arab, and international areas. Jerusalem, the Arab and world objects violently to the partition. Most Jews rejoice, but some claim they must have all of Palestine, and others oppose any state at all. May of 1948, the British mandate over Palestine terminates and the state of Israel is proclaimed. It is recognized almost immediately by the United States and the Soviet Union. Israel is attacked by the Arab neighbors. 1949, armistice agreements with Arab gives Israel more land, but the Arabs retain only Jerusalem. Over the opposition of other Arab nations, Jordan annexes what is left of the West Bank of the Jordan River. Egypt occupies the Gaza Strip. Israeli elections give the Labour Party control, which it will remain until 1977. The Arab world remains in a technical state of war with Israel. All right, so this is Jimmy Carter. Jimmy Carter. Now, you can take that slide down. Let's go back to the prophecy. I'm trying to end this class, everybody. Go to Ezekiel 36:5, when he said, the Most High says here, they have appointed my land in their possession. All right, read that.
With the joy of all their heart.
With the joy of all their heart. When they proud, they took the land of Israel. The Most High watched that. All right, go ahead.
With the spiteful minds, to cast it out for a prey.
All right, what's the spiteful minds? All right, verse 6 again.
Prophesy therefore concerning the land of Israel.
Now, the land of Israel, not the people. Let's prophesy. The land of Israel, and go ahead.
And say unto the mountains and to the hills, to the rivers, and to the valleys.
To the mountains, rivers, valleys, all the interiors of Israel. Go ahead.
Thus said the outer one, Most High Power, behold, I have spoken in my jealousy and in my fury, because ye have borne the shame of the heathen.
All right, so because you have in this land the heathens, you borne their shame, the things that they do, the war, the fighting. This is in the land of Israel, the Holy Land. The Most High he's just mad at that. All right, continue.
Therefore, thus said the outer one, Most High Power, I have lifted up my hand. Surely the heathen that are about you shall bear their shame.
So underline what says, surely the heathen that are about you, that surely the heathen that's in the land of Israel, they are going to bear their shame. This is prophecy that's going to happen. This is going to happen. All right. Verse 8.
But ye, O mountains of Israel, ye shall shoot forth your branches and yield your fruit of my people of Israel.
All right. It says it, but ye mountains of Israel, you shall shoot forth your branches and yield your fruit to my people Israel. In other words, it's going to come to the point where we return to that land, because Israel, even today, is not producing agriculturally. It's not producing. Even the temperature is not the same, because the real people of Israel are not in the land. We're not in that land. But the Most High is saying, you're going to be able to shoot your fruits to my people Israel. All right, continue reading.
For they are at hand to come.
So because they're going to come. They're at hand, they're going to come. They're not there yet, but they're going to come. All right, continue.
For behold, I am for you, and I the Most High will turn unto you, and ye shall be tilled and sown.
All right, so when that turns, the Most High, I'm with you, the land. I'm going to make you tilled again, and you're going to be sown properly, agriculturally, and with the people that are there. Verse 10.
And I the Most High will multiply men upon you, all the house of Israel,
all the tribes, all the house of Israel. Go ahead.
Even all of it.
Even all the tribes. Ain't nobody gonna be missing that land of Israel. All the tribes. All right.
And the cities.
Go ahead.
Shall be inhabited. And the waste shall be built.
And the waste shall be builded. Okay, go ahead. Continue reading.
And I the Most High will multiply upon you man and beast.
All right, it's going to come to that time. The Most High is going to multiply man and beast. Going to be a lot of people there. The righteous people, man and beast. Go ahead.
And they shall increase and bring fruit. And I the Most High will settle you after your old estimates.
You got to read that. All right, underline that. That's powerful. The scripture says here, the Most High, I'm going to settle you after your old estate. What's the old estate? All right, but like when? Like the Garden of Eden. That's the old estate, like the Garden of Eden. Adam had everything there. All he had to do was work. That's all Adam had to do. He had everything. Moses had everything laid out for him. All he had to do was work. All right? Yeah.
He missed something in the fifth verse. You got to go back to the fifth verse.
All right.
He missed something that's very important that has to be highlighted.
All right. Go to verse 5 again and let Ben.
Ezekiel chapter 36, verse 5.
Go ahead.
Therefore, thus said the Honorable and Most High Power, surely in the fire of my jealousy have I spoken against the residue of the heathen and against all Idumea.
That's who's possessing the land. Idumea, not Japheth. Idumea is possessing the land. The Edomites.
Exactly.
Okay, we're talking about the Japheth. Japheth is Idumea. The Edomites is possessing the land. All Idumea is just a Greek word for Edom.
Edom.
All right, read that part again.
Mm-hmm.
Against the residue of the heathen and against all Idumea, which have appointed my land into their possession.
That's who have appointed the Most High land to their possession. The Edomites. The Edomites. Okay, that's why them and Israel, America and Israel are such good buddies, because they're all the same people. They're all Edomites, children of Esau.
And
Okay, just different families.
And the Most High is upset. He's upset over that. He's going to spew them out. All right. All right. Now let's go back to verse 11.
Verse 11, Ezekiel 36, verse 11. And now the Most High will multiply upon you man and beast, and they shall increase and bring fruit. And now the Most High will settle you after your old estates.
All right. The old estates. All right, the Most High gonna settle us. We go back. It's gonna be like the old estates. All right, continue.
And will do better unto you than at your beginning.
And to do better unto you at your beginning. It's gonna be better than the Garden of Eden. It's gonna be better than y'all think Adam had it made. We gonna have it made when the real Jews go back. All right, continue on.
And ye shall know that I, the Most High, am the Lord Yahweh. Yea.
Yeah, go ahead.
I, the Most High, will cause men to walk upon you, even my people Israel.
In the line that's even my people Israel. Okay, go ahead.
And they shall possess thee.
And we're going to possess the land. We're going to possess the land. Go ahead.
And thou shalt be their inheritance.
And the land of Israel is going to be our inheritance. And the only reason you get an inheritance because what? You're heir. We're heirs to the land. They're not heirs to the land. That's why it's constant war. The scripture says inheritance. The only way you get inheritance, you got to be an heir. That's why the scripture also said it's going when the real people get back, there's going to be war no more. Think about it. All right, let's finish it up. Go ahead.
And thou shalt be no more henceforth bereaved them of men.
All right, when that happened, the Most High, the land, you ain't gonna have to worry about no more. You're not gonna be bereaved or be saddened, because the land is sad because the children of Israel are not there. All right, verse 13.
Verse 13.
No, we we're going to stop right there. We start right there. All right. Now, let's go to slide 11. And unfortunately, I have to bring them into it too. Because the Most High is upset that we're not in that land. Slide 11. These are not inhabitants of the land either. All right. The Palestinians are not inhabitants of that land. So they fight over land that's not theirs either. Those are not, they're not supposed to be in that land either. That's why the Most High is upset. Constant war. It's always going to be war. It ain't going to be no two states. That's all political talk. Two states. It's all political talk. Lip service. Okay,
That's what Gamal Nasser said in the 50, like 1950, right? He said, it's a funny thing. The real Jews left black and came back white. There'll never be no peace in the Middle East.
You're right. There'll never be no peace.
He was the Egyptian prime minister.
Yeah.
They assassinated him after that.
Yeah, they killed him too. Yeah, they killed him. They killed him.
Yep.
All right. Unfortunately, they catching hell. The pastor's catching hell. Them so-called Jews, man, they are bombing the hell out of them in Gaza. All right. Last but not least, give me slide 13. Now, if you look at this map, look at this map here when it comes up. Now, this is a map of Israel. You see that Gaza Strip? That's all the bombing and fighting going over right now. It's a seashore. All right, now, as you can see, that original land was for the Philistines. That's Gaza. You see the middle map? That's the Philistines. That's the Gaza Strip, or what we know as Canaan. We talked about, right? Now they fighting, they bombing that land. They doing that for two reasons. They want possession of that seacoast for one. That's what Israel's doing. They taking the possession of the seacoast. So they killed all those Palestinians out of Gaza, bombed it, and they're gonna rebuild that back. That's the goal. They're gonna bomb all the houses, bomb everything, and they're using that to say that the Hamas is bunkered in. They're gonna bomb, destroy all that area, and they're gonna rebuild that back. At least they're gonna attempt to. All right, but my point I want to make that this land is actually Judah's land. Right. Go, give me slide 14. This is Judah's land. This is the quote unquote the real Jews' land. Gaza, the real Jews' land. So we should be offended. It should be offended. The Gaza Philistine area, it says Judah. Originally, that's Judah's land. The Most High gave us that land. That's why he's upset. That's our land. So the Most High, he's gonna have to, when we come back, he's gonna rebuild that whole area. But he's gonna kick them out of the land first. All right, y'all see that? All right, so I want to stop right there. I know we had a long class. I'm glad that people listened. And again, this class was not personal, but we had to get clarity, and we had to debunk and fact check some things that were actually said during those interviews. All right, one question. Yep.
Yeah, I want to read this real quick. You read what the Most High told to the land, right?
Mm-hmm.
So I want to read what the land is telling us.
Where we at?
This Baruch 4:25.
All right. As a matter of fact,
the land talking to us.
come up here. Come up here really quick. Give him the mic. Let him read that really quick.
All right, let's read 4 scriptures. I'm not going to go through the whole.
Yeah.
All right.
So he's saying we read the prophecy in Ezekiel concerning the land. Right? Now you're going to read in the book of Baruch.
What the land is telling us.
What the land is telling us.
Forward.
Okay.
Baruch chapter 4, verse 25.
Get the mic.
Salah.
Let's go next to him. Get the mic.
This is the land talking to us, not the Most High, but this is the land, actual land crying out in the spirit to us.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, my children, suffer patiently. Suffer patiently. Suffer patiently. The wrath that is come upon you is from the Most High.
Mm-hmm.
For thine enemy has persecuted thee. But shortly thou shalt see his destruction, and shalt tread upon his neck. My delicate ones have gone rough ways, and were taken away as a flock caught of the enemies. Be of good comfort, O my children, and cry unto the Most High, for ye shall be remembered of him that brought these things upon you. For as it was in your mind to go astray from the Most High, so being returned, seek him 10 times more. For he that hath brought these plagues upon you shall bring you everlasting joy again with your salvation. Take a good heart, O Jerusalem, for he that gave you that name will comfort thee.
Wow.
Yeah.
What's the scripture? Beautiful scripture.
Baruch chapter 4. You can do the whole chapter, it's crazy, but You could start with 19 and go down to stop at 25. That's the good things.
All right, beautiful. All right, the water captain. All right. So with that being said, I'm going to end this class, and like this class is a little different. I know we don't teach, follow things like that, but because I was questioned about it, I had to go into it. All right, so with that, I want you to enjoy the rest of your Shabbat, and Shabbat Shalom. All right? All right.